from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AMD Ryzen with Windows 11 presents the Esports Challenger Series, powered by Crucial. It's going to be over aggressive here with Baba Gusto on my side. He's been a brand new face, and I know for a fact that you guys have been loving him, so we have to bring him back for the ride. Even more action here because the wildcard event is now beginning. And goddamn, are all four of these teams pumped up and ready to prove themselves here on the semifinal stage. Of course, as we head on down over to today's matchup. Baba, how are you feeling about this?
Well, I'm feeling great, aggressive, and talk about the wildcard event itself. Both top second and third team on both qualifiers one and two will have one final chance. There's only one spot for the wildcard, and only one team will proceed into the next group stage. And I have to say, these two matches will be a tough one to predict, aggressive.
Yes, certainly. When we were talking about this over on the back end, I was a bit confused about who exactly would win this first initial bout. Will it be Orgless with the sheer amount of talent that they have in their roster when you consider the overarching storyline? Or will it be Team Punish, who have been consistent as a team and has the synergy to go the distance, but maybe lacks the level of firepower that they need to push them over the edge? It's been a debate on which side is stronger on that regard, team play or the raw talent side of things. But for match number two, we know for a fact that True Rippers, they should be the ones to take it, considering how far they have come and how incredible of a roster that they are. But on the other end, Anadi Army, they are so dangerous to go up against. We have seen their sheer raw dominance against the side of Reckoning before. So it's not going to be an outlier of a story. But then again, they're Anani Army, they show their cracks quite often. And I don't know, will they be able to go the distance here? It'll be a tough call.
It will be aggressive. And talk about the match that we've seen from Orgless's end. When they went up against Metal Esports, unfortunately, they had to lose 2-0 with Metal Esports proceeding in towards the group stage. As we take a look at the schedule itself, folks, we've already had our first qualifiers. The second qualifiers is done. Now we are here at the wild card. 22nd and 23rd July. These 2 days will be a lot of competition between the third and fourth position teams who still has a chance on both the first and second qualifiers. And the group stage, we've already have our three invited teams, we've already have our four qualified teams. Now we're just waiting on one team who will be a wild card, and that wild card will be a surprising one at the group stage, which will happen on 25th to 30th July. And let's not forget, they're fighting for the LAN event for the TC Club Arena. This will be this arena itself will be a huge festival which will happen in Bengaluru, and those 3 days will be the best event which will happen in the entirety of India itself. If you want to register for the tickets, if you want the tickets to head on into our fest, go ahead, link is in the description below, and make sure to get your tickets now. It's free of cost. And talk about the prize pool itself, the tournament, 15 lakh prize pool, aggressive. Imagine that. First place will receive 7 lakh 50,000 rupees. Second position, 4 lakhs. And third position will have at least 2 lakh 50,000 rupees. Even more so, the most valuable player in this tournament who has performed the best in this tournament will also receive a huge bonus of 1 lakh rupees itself. And I got to say, this Challenger Series, although there was a lot of ups and downs, but now we're here. And now we just have to see who will be that one team who will get the spot on the group stages.
Honestly, with the price pool now inching closer and closer to the players' bank accounts, pretty much. You know that the teams they're gonna get a lot more serious in the way that they take engagements. The build-up of how these teams have gone through qualifiers one, qualifiers two, or now are at the last and final stage of regulation. If they lose here, it's done. There's no more second chances. You're out of this tournament. No opportunities whatsoever to head on down to the group stages. To the main stage where you have an opportunity to compete on land, mind you, the first ever land for the esports club. Now that is a sight to behold. Thousands of people are going to be coming. You guys should be there as well. A lot of fun games to be had. And according to Universe, we're going to have a lot of big influencers show up as well. It's going to be a big surprise. He hasn't even told me the surprise yet. Apparently, he knows, but I don't. A lot of content being shot. So, hey, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below. If you don't want to miss out on any of the fun things that we have planned for you on the road to the land, which is going to be on the 12th. Don't forget about that. Mark your calendars and also book a train ticket if you're not living in Bangalore, because this is one thing that you just do not want to miss. But as we head on down over towards the map video screen, let's talk about what we're missing when it comes to both of these squads and exactly where they're going to be taking us for this extravaganza of a journey. Best of three, ladies and gentlemen. And whoever takes the cake for the first two maps are going to be the ones to win. I'm leaning towards the side of Team Punished a bit more because I personally like a team that has better team synergy and coordination over a team of raw talent.
Yeah, I've also seen Team Punished in most of the recent matches that I have seen. They're always great when it comes to coordination, the timings of utilities that they've used it so very well, and also talk about Orgless Esports, who had a lot of problems with Medal Esports in the second qualifiers. Now they're back again, and now they need to figure out a way to dismantle Punish's coordination. Talk about the map veto itself. The first map will be Icebox, which has been picked by Team Punished, and the second map, Haven, the hands of Team Orgless Esports. Unless and until if it's equalized, we might see Decider map Bind, where Team Punish will be going on defense first. So I've got to ask Aggressive, but the amount of picks that we've seen, especially from Team Punish's end, do you think that Orgless Esports on defense would be more promising on Icebox in the first half, or do you think that Team Punish can recover the first half and be more victorious in second half?
Honestly, Orgless on Icebox, they have left a lot to be desired for. The team feels extremely uncomfortable on this particular map, and they've fallen short in a lot of different avenues here. Yes, their early starts are pretty strong on this map, but later on, as the late game starts to develop on the later round stages, they start to fall off a lot more where the strat book just seems to run dry. Now, on the other end, Team Punished, we have not really seen how their icebox can develop over time as much. Their previous matches on this particular map have been pretty fast, 13-4, 13-5, so they have not really gone to the late game stages as often. But I do hope that the strat book has enough depth to allow such a play style, because this has a tendency of going the distance, especially when you are facing off against opponents who are of equal skill level, if not greater, considering what they have on their team. Now, Orgless, they have the benefit of the doubt early on. That is pretty much their strategy most of the time for every series that they play. Get an early advantage and try to build upon that. But Team Punish, if they're able to adapt and put a stop to that early advantage that Orgless are always trying to create, then it's a pretty standardized pickup. You should be able to shut down Orgless early, take a possible 13-5, 13-6 for yourself. Otherwise, you go the distance with the possibility of a 13-11 or even a 14-12. Overtime could be a must have for this pickup because Icebox is one of those maps where the long game is always prevalent instead of being a secondary thought.
Yeah, the long game is exactly what these two teams needs to worry about on map Icebox, because you could say that this map clearly favors on the attacker's end. Way back when the map was reworked a little bit, especially on the B side, where they decided to uh, make an entire opaque wall instead of having two boxes on both down and upstairs. So with that huge changes being made and also some recent changes that have been made on map Icebox, you could say it's a little bit balanced on the defensive ends too. There's still a lot of opportunities where the defenders can hold their ground closer to the side, which will give a lot of angles and a lot of worries for the attackers itself, unless and until if they have control on mid and tunnel. And I believe on a map like Icebox, mid control is crucial. If there's any problems on the attacker's end, say for an example, if the attackers wants to rotate back, if they want to reposition, knowing that the entire A side has been fortified, if they don't worry about the mid side, if they don't worry about mid, that's exactly where most of the defenders usually gets the drop on them. But all in all, that is more that I can say about map Icebox. But on map Haven, though, Orgless has made a decision to pick this
Plus,
map. So there is high likely a chance that a Neon could be brought up on Haven's end. You want that heavy
guarantee
controlled
it.
from the A long side. You want to pressure the defensive side for more than 5 to 6 rounds and ensure that whenever there is a bit of a panic mode or there's frustration coming in from the opposition end, they would ensure to, go head on and face head to head, win those challenges, and see whether if they can rack up a lot of points in the first half. I believe that's the main goal on what Orgless wants to do. But other than that, you also need to be careful on the combos that Fade works out with everyone, right? Fade can help combo with every single agents. She can even combo with Brimstone. She can combo with Breach. Just like we saw in the previous matchup when Reckoning Esports went up against Anadi Army. Man, those combos were deadly, and it was very difficult for the attackers. So you really need to be. Sorry, I actually have to apologize for that. So you really need to be careful on those, wombo combos that the teams would deliver. But it always
True,
comes
true,
down to
true.
the agent's pick. So when the ready confirmation is done, we'll be able to proceed with our first wildcard matchup. It will be Team Orgless versus Team Punish. The first map will be Icebox. So let's see whether if we would have a chilling experience in the map itself.
Xbox. I'm really on the fence about the compositions, though. A lot of teams have started to pick up on the compositions from Europe and from NA, where they have shifted away from the duelist a little bit more, maybe having that duelist for the level of verticality that it offers, but primarily you want to just be playing a race jet. If anyone picks up the radar, you just lose the level of verticality that you can have with so many of the other characters. But if you are not wanting to go in for the duelist whatsoever, then go for the pure utility based composition with the chamber being that pseudo duelist for your side. And you gotta remember that you have to be happy with the chamber as he is for the longest amount of time for now, because down the line, chamber is gonna get nerfed. We already been hearing rumors about this. The guy has a 90% trick rate in professional play, which is absolutely stupid. Even Jet didn't have this level of a pick rate at the time. He's picked up on every single goddamn map, and his prevalence can be felt throughout the entire scene, not just in South Asia, but the entire world in general. That's how incredible he is in the hands of a proper aimer. And hey, on the back end, we already got the confirmation. The teams are now prepped up and ready. We're going to be jumping down over into the game. The agent selections are also going to come through. But Rava, I want to ask your pickup. What's your favorite composition lineup for the map of Icebox? I already told you mine, but I want to hear yours.
Composition as in agents pick wise, right? You
Yes.
could say Viper is a must pick on Icebox
Yeah,
because you
that's
need to
guaranteed.
block a lot of lines of sight. There's a lot of long angle lines of fights where it's more likely a safe haven for op plays to happen. And when you have a certain agents, just like Aggressive said, Chamber, you could say more of like friendship ended with Jet. Now Chamber is my best friend because the Blade Storm itself,
My
although it
life.
does, yeah, it's exactly what's happening right now because Jet is Blade Storm. Although she needs two kunai knives in the body shots to get the confirmation, the kill, you still need to understand that Chamber only needs one shot to the body, and he has 5 bullets. If you have to make a comparison between Jet and Chamber, you could say that Jet can at least refresh her kunai knives for every kill that she does with the normal shoot. You can't, you refresh your entire ultimate with the alternate fire. Chamber, he only has 5 bullets and he needs to make all 5 bullets count. So the main reason why Chamber gets to get picked a lot more often is mainly because of his total force. Even if the eco rounds, chamber is very powerful if if you are great with your op shots. But even more so, like I said, composition wise, chamber, viper. You could bring in phase because I've seen a lot of Sova mains decide to head on in towards the fade's end. But I could say the combo wise on Fade, it always depends on the coordination on the team. So even if you do pick certain agents like Chamber or Viper, you need to ensure that the combo would work out well. Now, when it comes to information gaining, the only agent that can do that is either Sova or Fade. You could even bring out Sky. Sky is really good for initiation purpose. You have the guiding light to not only give information but blind both of them at the same time. You even have the Seekers, so you have a lot of information on your hands too. But if I have to say coordination wise, yeah, there you go. I'll say Viper. The second would be Chamber, followed up with the double initiator combo, with either with Breach. Breach could work out well on Icebox, or is it not? I'm just a little bit confused. There is a lot of there is a lot of agents that you can still go through, but a must pick will be Viper nonetheless. And Viper Chamber is always a must pick. You could still go with the normal duelist like the Jet Chamber also Chamber. You could say Chamber as more of like a duelist in
Chamber is
itself.
technically a
Yeah.
duelist, honestly. We always say this. Like Chamber, everyone says that he's a sentinel, but then you look at his tools. He has a rendezvous, which is a much more stronger version of the jet dash when you think
Hmm.
about it in the long run. The headhunter, which can turn any eco round on top of his head if you're good with the first initial bullet. 5 bullets from the headhunter can easily just turn the tides of the battle. You don't even need to worry about that, considering how beautiful he can be when it comes down to execute. His chamber traps, before there were two, and still with one, he's a menace. Just imagine back before we had to worry about two chamber trademarks just following you around the map. You turn a corner, there's a second trademark after you killed out the first. So the level of potential that chamber has is limitless. And for now, at least, as you said, the initiators are the primary form of contention, but only in two forms. Either you go in for the Fade Sova or you go in for the Sky Fade, or the third form would be the Sova and the Fade, which is pretty standardized. That is the composition that most teams are starting to run on this particular map. But the double sentinel composition is another keen thing that a lot of teams have started to pick up on. The Killjoy and, of course, the Sage being one of the most standard pickups on this particular map. Everyone used to run it, but now people have shifted away and started picking up the Chamber and Sage. The Sage allows you to have so much more versatility on this particular map because of the amount of different lines of sight that you can create, the amount of avenues that you can find just by terraforming the entire map into your own shape due to that one wall that she has. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have the B side to worry about as well. The B side is so difficult to break into, especially as a defender going in for the close plans, that unless you have that sage to completely block off a line of sight, you could get easily overwhelmed in a lot of situations. But that's the side of Icebox. Team Punish, they have the advantage on this map because this is their home pickup, so they will have a lot more strategies to employ on this particular map. But let's talk about Haven a little bit more. Okay, let's take Haven into a backseat and talk about Vine, because if we head into Vine, the biggest question mark in my eyes would be how will Orgless try to take out Team Punch? Because Team Punch, they've showcased their proficiency on Bind on a completely different level.
Hmm.
And it will be interesting to see how Orgless will find out.
Yeah, even I'm also curious to know how Orgless will deal on map bind, but in order for that to happen, they need to ensure to at least secure map number two itself. According to the map pick itself, I'm pretty much sure that Orgless have made a decision to pick Map Haven itself. So if they're very confident on on winning Map Haven on their especially on their own map pick, I'm pretty much sure that in the deciders we might be able to see your answers in the third map itself aggressive. But for now, folks, at the moment, we are still waiting for the side of both the teams to get the ready confirmation. So, when it's done, we might be able to proceed into the match itself. There's a bit of a delay here that we still need to focus on. But until that's been sorted out, we're just stuck on the caster's cam, and we can still talk about some other stuff. We can, we've already talked about the composition wise on map Icebox. Out of all the conversations we had, I just forgot about the double sentinels, the sage. The sage is the main important part on a map like Icebox, and all that was running from my head was just jet and chamber every single time. But anything more than that, on a serious note, map number 2 and 3, Haven and Bind, will be the most important things that Orgless might have the advantage of, unless and until Team Punish decides to take it out. I mean, this is their first map. I mean, first map pick itself is at the hands of, if I have the information right, that has to be map Icebox. Yeah, Team Punished have this on map Icebox. Team Punish are the ones who pick the map. So you could say that if they did win map number 1, and if they clearly understood the strategies of Orgless's defensive or attackive maneuvers on map Haven, you could say that they wouldn't have any problem securing this out on a 2-0. But this is the wild cards we're talking about. Everything is on the line. There's only one spot to the group stages, and they have to give it their all. And I could say that there is high likelihood chances of overtimes on all of these three maps. So better get ready. Hope you have your popcorns. Hope you have your bottle of H2O, that is water, or maybe a juice could be more than enough to get the entertainment up and running. But for now, again, apologies for the delay once again, because we're still waiting on the ready confirmation from both the ends on Orgless. And I believe we might be able to. I think we have to go in for a break here, folks. Again, I know we're supposed to. I know we are all are anxious. We all are excited for map number 1, but there are some technical issues that we need to fix around. So we'll just take a short little break, folks, and we'll be right back after. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AMD Ryzen with Windows 11 presents the Esports Challenger Series powered by Crucial. We had to go into a short little break to try and set everything up. I'm extremely sorry once again. We're trying to give you the best viewing experience possible. We know that you love the player cams, and we have to set it up proper. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit buggy. You know how it can be from time to time to set up 10 players and so 10 different cameras, which we're going to be constantly switching over from player to player quite often. So fixing that up. It's going to be ready up real soon. And we have already gotten the confirmation. The teams are also prepped up. We're going to be jumping straight on in. Hopefully, no more technical difficulties here because the map of Icebox will be underway. But again, from where we left off, compositions, we have talked about everything. We have beaten the dead horse quite enough. But at the end of the day, we're still analysts, we're still casters. We are only speculating what the teams could be going in for. But at the end of the day, it's the teams who decide exactly which comms they're going to play and which agents they're going to pick up. We could be in for a massive surprise, possibly a Euro as well on the map of Icebox. You never really know. anything could be possible. This is the wild card for a reason. And as we jump on down over towards the agent selection screen, this is where the real fun will begin.
Yep. The moment that we've been waiting for, the wildcard event. First matchup. It's at the hands of Team Orgless versus Team Punished. You already get to see it in the agent pick phase itself. Already on the side of the attacker's end, Team Punished. Like I said, the controller Viper will be brought out from both the teams. And what's even more interesting is that the side on Team Punish, that for a moment that I thought they were opting out for a double duelist. For a moment that we saw, Yoru being brought out, but no, it will be the same nonetheless. Double Sentinels, the Chamber and the Sage. We have the Initiator Sova and Vibagod with the Jet. Now all you gotta do is just wait on the hands of Orgless to see whether if their response would be back again. I believe this would be a mirror matchup of aggressive. Don't you think about this? I mean, you could say that mirror matchups between both the teams can happen most of the time.
Choose your
But what's more interesting is that they're opting out on a different agents here. Interestingly enough, we see Haiwan bring in the Cypher and Sami with the race. Although the confirmation didn't happen out, so it won't be the Cypher, of course. It will be the Sage nonetheless. And the only difference has to be
Sami on a raise.
Sami on raise. Yeah, that's interesting, especially on a map like Icebox. It would have made sense if Raze was being brought out on Bind, or even more so on Ascent, because you have those tight corners. But on Icebox, interesting, very, very much interesting agent spec being brought out on the side of Orgless.
See, I like the idea of the Raze because Raze in this current meta has been an absolute dominant force. But on Icebox, I'm a bit more on loose end of things. I'm what 70-30 on the Raze pickup, 70%. You should not really go in for that Raze 30%. Yeah, sure, it works. It's pretty good when you get some value out of your own utility, but it's very difficult to do that unless you have proper avenues for the attacking side. And they're on the defense, much more stronger side for the Raze. If you do not have an Astra on it, you have to remember that it's always dependent on the Astra. If there's an Astra, then the Raze is a phenomenal pickup on any particular map. That combination is so insane. And hey, just as I said, this is why we were delayed. Setting up all of the cams like this, it's not as simple.
It definitely isn't. But their main focus has to be on the first round itself, the pistol rounds. This is where most of the economic growth would happen. But who will get it first? They're just currently playing for picks though. Team Punished. They want to see whether if they can gain some information from those peaks, and Cortez might be able to find one. Great headshot. Sam has been gone, which means that they've got the opening. And now they'll make a decision to head on in and proceed towards mid-push. Now this will be difficult though from the other's end, especially the hands of Haiwan. Does he know this? Does he know that there is 3 players holding in from the mid side? Yes, he does. He needs to fall back. Smokes at the right side. He'll get one, but at the end, a shootout will happen. But now, you could say that Orgless might not look too good. And now they're proceeding towards the A side.
30 seconds left.
Post round is also heading in. The walls, boy. That was so close, though.
Oh, God,
Shadows.
that was perfect timing. The Sage probably nearly met his maker there, but still good hold. But for the side of Orgless, sorry, things don't look that good on their side.
Enemy
Yep,
remaining.
Chamber's gonna be able to catch it one more. Last player's gonna be Zoid. Has a good angle. Perfect shot. Threads the needle perfectly for one. He's looking for a secondary. He should be able to get it as well. Jump down over from the side. Takes on the wrong. Good. Kill Kazad. Tried to go in for the heal and nearly got caught out in the process, but Zoid missed out on 2 crucial shots, and Kel'Thuzad pretty much survived with the skin of his teeth there. But hey, that's the first initial round, and Team Punish, they take it away.
Kel'Thuzad will be very lucky at this point because Chamber only had 2 bullets left with the Headhunter. And boy oh boy did he get lucky enough. First win already at the hands of Team Punished, which means their attack will be looking even more deadlier on round number 2. And I believe they'll be playing for picks once again. Mid push from by God. He wants to see whether if he can eliminate Heek out of the equation, but still he won't. Which means that the dash will be expanded nonetheless. Shot missed. Opportunities starts to falter around on the attacker's side. My God. The Marshal is not favoring him a lot. Once again, it's Kel'Thuzad taking out Sammy this time. You see a lot of presence being made from the mid's end, and there you go. Finally, by God finally gets to succeed in landing his shots. Kusef will go down. So does Haiwan. Orgless is not looking too good. All of the players have been falling. All the players have fallen down, and it's just the Sova who needs to figure out a way to come back. It's not gonna happen. 3K from by Gods is Marshall. And the rest of it is history. 2-round wins at the hands of Team Punished, and Orgless are yet to make a statement in round number 3.
It's gonna be the buy rounds though, Baba. So finally they can relax. They can take a step back and figure out exactly what went wrong for them. First of all, I have to put an emphasis that Team Punish technically did not fully win out on that anti-eco. Yeah, of course, they won the round, but I would say it's still a win for the defenders because the attackers were not able to get the spike down. Getting that spike down is the most crucial part of any anti-eco round. Even if you get the kills, if you don't get that spike down, you don't have that extra 300 credit buffer that you need in a lot of these cases. But with the bonus weaponry that they do have, it's not the end of the world, but again, they're looking for even more. Big Daddy Kawhi already towards the top side. My God, he's deep into the mid territories, and I don't think anyone knows he's there. Should be a free shot to take, but Solo, he needs to be perfect with the first initial engagement, but Big Daddy Kawhi comes down with the first kill onto Ivan, and everyone needs to come over to him to try and shut him down. He gains the space for his team, but Musa flirting with danger right there. Almost got caught out, but still, with the spike line going in and a 4 versus 4 situation, the retake, not that simple, but considering the amount of utility already invested by the attack, should give them the small little bit of an opening that they need to push their way in.
And the opening that Punish just gave was just so huge, especially on the bonus round. And this time they can just easily wait for the players to arrive at their crosshairs, but somehow it turns out to be the exact opposite. Look at that. That was a really great recovery coming back in the hands of Orgless. Although the attempt... Yeah, exactly. Way too much. Just like I saw Kawhi on the mid side being uncontested, no one had any idea on Viper's whereabouts. Next thing you know, the whole team's main focus starts to be on the mid side, and then immediately we see Team Punished get control on A. That distraction was more than enough. They succeeded on pre-plant, but what exactly happened at the end? How did Orgless succeed on post-plant? Is it mainly because of a lack of utility usage in post-plant with Team Punished? Or
yeah, no, they used too much early on. Like you could see, Slorbs got invested, 2 Cloud Bursts got invested. The amount of things that they had to slow down a push, they threw it in way too early before they even saw one singular player. But it's completely fine. That was still their bonus round, and 5e is going to be able to catch out Sami first on the first initial swing. The belt play was perfect, and now with Sami going down early, that's a big one, but no! 5e, that's a big miss. He's gonna feel that one because Haivan's staying alive here. Will be a massive thorn on their side. 3 more kills and he has the resurrection available. But what's the plan for Team Punished here? They've already gotten that first pickup. 5e extremely low on health, but it's completely fine. They can hold, they can wait. Just need time for the secondary engagement. 5e, he has the timing to work with, but I like this play from Orgless. They're not being over-aggressive whatsoever. They understand that they just need to play time. And with only 40 seconds left, the execution has to go on A, and Kusef is ready for it.
30
All we
seconds
have to do
left.
is just wait for Team Punish to make their mark, and there you go. That is the one. Kusef not being able to succeed. Solomon is already in the side, and so does the rest of the players on the side of Team Punish. Ivan needs to do something about this, but they don't have control on high ground. Post-plant back again, and we see Team Punished back in the lead when it comes to man count. 2v5. Not a lot of utilities that the defenders can know up. Recon will give some decent information though, and Zoid might have his eyes on towards Cortex. But there's a lot of things that you need to be careful about, and that is the op shot from Zoid. We also need to worry about that snake bite though. Drop down once again. Cortex lose the gunfight. Even more so, you could say that this round can go at the hands of Team Punished, because Hika will have to save his weapon, and the rest of the team will be forced to fall back. 1 to 3. And that opening pick was more than enough for Team Punished to succeed with that execute.
Ouch. You really don't want the rounds to end up like this. Orgless. They really needed that victory, but Vibe coming in with the operator was the biggest surprise out of every one of these plays. But I guess it's completely fine, because sometimes you're not going to have that level of gameplay to come in. Sami, you can see from the cams, we can actually see his mouse cam for once. And a lot of people who have been worrying about his grip and asking for it, you can finally see it.
Yep, we do. At this point, we see Team Punished opting out to choosing on a different course of attempt. This time, heading in towards the B side. Being silent as of now, Sami doesn't have any information, and now he does. And this time, he just barely survives. He has to fall back, but not for long. It's too much. Too much, indeed, for Orgless to handle on the B execute. The denial will be theirs, of course. The paint bomb, you still have some certain utilities from the Sova as well. Information's been given, but it's too late. Post-plant buck again. And at this point, you have to keep thinking, can Orgless come back? Can they succeed like they did on round number 3? A lot of lines of sight that they need to be careful of. Recon from Hika. Information denied the instant that happens. Not a lot of frag being at the hands of Orgless once again. Kel'Thuzad is here, so does Why by God, and he is looking angry on those shots as well. Not looking too good. They have to okay, he had to refresh for the Vandal though. That did not work out, but in the end it will be a cleanup. 4 to 1. Team Punish, they're not going to stop with that execute, not one bit. At this point, you could say, especially at the instant replay itself, they didn't had any information regarding on Punish's whereabouts, right? There were so many people invested on the B site. And talk about Orgless, you could see that they don't want to be aggro, they don't want to play an off angle, maybe, you know, push all the way from mid blue. They're just holding in from mid boilers. They're just ensuring that there wouldn't be any tunnel peek, only just, it was just a full-on push from B green. And since there was a lot of bodies that Sami couldn't handle, he had to fall back. It was a lot of dangers that they need to figure out a way to, you know, get the comeback with. And you could say that Team Punish got the better of it. Now in round number 6, they still have some decent economy though from both the teams. Orgless, on the other hand, they're not looking too good on their wins, but although they might look good though, because Hika, that opening, taking out by God, the operator will be down.
With a push up from the side, the bulldog not really finding any form of value, and 5E's now back on the server, baby. He still has the operator in hand, and Cortez, he could just have the timing. Hybot survives, and he's going to be able to run off immediate. Cortez, timing is everything. He's gonna try to go in for the jiggle, but Hybot's not gonna miss that spray. Finds the perfect shot, but the slower, not really what he was looking for. And Zoid, beautiful readjustment.
30 seconds left.
Swings out and gets slapped with the face with the operator. Solo, he makes the first bit of noise, and finally, the members of Orgless, they're able to retaliate. They have the advantages, they have the fights, and Hybot is coming alive for the plays.
Not a lot of time left though.
Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, not a lot of time though for Punish's end. You could say that Orgless, this win though will at least help them fortify their holds back again. Beautiful peaks though.
Enemy remaining.
Although the revival was back from Kel'Thuzad's end, that was the only ultimate which has been used on the side of Team Punish, which means that they have all 4 of them. They have the Blade Storm, they have the Hunter's Fury, even more than that, Solo Man has his Op 2 from the Tour de Force. Viper Sped from Kawaii as well, which means that they want to give it all they've got on the B execute. They have everything at their hands, but they started to lose the first one. That's Kawaii gone from the mid side. This is huge. A huge impact at that too. Even more so, Sammy. His location is concealed. They don't know exactly where his location is. The paint bomb, the confirmation, the second. This is exactly what they want from Orgless's end. Huge destruction from the hands of Orgless and Team Punished. Back again, they only have 2 ops. Vibagod and Solo Man. Not a lot that they can do at this moment. They lost a lot of bodies, information being given. Beautiful shot from Zoid. And now he just needs to engage another 1v1 op gunfight from the hands of Vibagod. Information, and if he cuz whereabouts, he's been gone.
Doesn't even care. God damn.
Yeah.
He's being pinged and everything. Doesn't get pre-fired on the angle though. Good shots from him, but now Hyvan. Yeah, he's making that slow lurk up. He's gonna be able to get that spot and also the frag. That's the first, that's the second. And with this, they get their third. And Orgless, they're now back in contention. But with this pause now being taken and the full and utter stop coming in for the momentum, Orgless, they're looking to get the final couple of rounds that they need. You have to remember here about that. Icebox is a map that favors the attack slightly more, depending on the composition that you have. But for Team Punish, they do have the Jet, yes, but they're not using the Jet as the primary entry. And that's one of the main flaws, I think, of the strategy starting to show. Normally, it will always be the Chamber who picks up the Operator, allowing the Jet to be a lot more fluid in the way that she plays. But in this case, I do believe they need to go in for that switch up already. Vibe just needs to completely give away that Operator to Solo and just allow him to play the game that he wants from his end. The Chamber on the Operator is still ample more powerful than the Jet in a lot of cases, because the Chamber can be aggressive and defensive in his Operator plays, while the Jet kind of just gets stuck in the back, while the Chamber needs to be the one to do primary entry, which is not what they want.
I have to agree on that, aggressive. 2 ops from Punished, Viba and Solo Manan. Wouldn't it be best if Vibagod had the Vandal instead and just go in for a full-on rust attempt from the A side itself? Because that could have been an optimal solution for it, right? Because when it comes to aggressiveness, Jet can do exactly that. You just need to block certain lines of sight with the help of smokes. And back again, this is not looking good. Back again, Kawaii has been picked out. But this time it's at a different agent. It's Kusef. We'll get the confirmation. And Sammy, very aggressive on the A side, but he doesn't want to give away his positioning just yet because Solomanan has already placed his traps. He hears the sound, and now he's just staying silent. Very silent.
Oh, the timing. Sami's not going to be able to get the spot. Solo is able to walk on towards the right side of Bell.
Oh,
This is
wow.
perfect for them. But Sami, his position has not been caught out yet. That's the biggest part of this play. The fact that Sami's still there. That's a big caught. Yep, Sami's going to be able to catch him in the bag immediately. Has the first initial frag, has everything that he needs to, and he can now just dip. Gets a top-sided position on the belt, though. Very aggressive on his own accord. Gets himself a slight bit of an upgrade when it comes down to the skins. And Sami
30 seconds
Oh,
left.
boy.
nearly got caught there, but Sami, he's trying to fake it out as much as he can, jumping on down over to the top end. And Sami, a beeline dash over to safety. Still, maybe the shots could... Okay, Ivan's gonna take down Vibey, while Cortez does get a refrag over onto Hika. That's a good one, but they need a lot more to try.
Enemy remaining.
Actually going in for the They're actually going in for the post plant though, but it's still not enough. Orgless will get the win nonetheless. They'll succeed to equalize it 4-4. And I've got to say that confusion and the misinformation that Solo gave towards their team, they were full on confirmed that they were like, hey, the entire A side is clear. How about we just push in towards the A side? Turns out he didn't had any information about Sammy's whereabouts. And because of that, the consequences that Team Punish had to face was severe, and it is a lot to take. It's a lot to take in for them. Sammy once again,
Oh my God.
aggro. Sammy, man, unexpected angles, off angle, showstopper, everything is in. He gets the second, and this is huge back again from Orgless's end. They are taking so many risks, and that risks is favoring a lot on Orgless's end. This is exactly what they need, which means Team Punished in the next round, they won't have enough money. They'll be back in an eco round, and this will be concerning for Punish's end.
Not what they wanted whatsoever. Decisive though. Pretty hefty miss. Goddamn, Kel'Thuzad. Gets another kill in the Immortal Lich. Works his way up. Has a proper angle, comes in with the wall. A little bit of a grim wall coming in to try and catch an off angle on his Zoid, but Zoid, he's a lot more wiser than his years. Knows that Hika has the Hunter's Fury to deny the plan. Doesn't even need to go aggressive. He can just wait. He can just chill over onto mid. Hold off two different angles. Allow the plan to go in and play with his
30 seconds
initiator
left.
to get into the site and play for this retake. Smart idea from Orgless and pretty much guaranteed round unless Kel'Thuzad pulls off a miracle here.
Sounds will be given. Chamber will give the confirmation. And if Kel'Thuzad wins this gunfight, he'll have the resurrect. He'll be able to revive at least one of his teammates. Here's the sound. Information from the Owl drone. Kel'Thuzad's location has been compromised. Pings twice, and now they're in the position. They have to get the trade. What will happen next? Kel'Thuzad, does he know Hika's whereabouts? No, he does not. Clutch attempt will be failed, which means that Orgless will be winning this round. And like I said, Team Punished, they will have a very bad decision to see whether if they have to go in for a force buy or they'll just usually go in with an eco round once again.
I don't know what to expect just yet out of them, but hey, let's just take a couple of steps back and explain exactly why Team Punished are losing out on so many of their engagements. First of all, it's not because Team Punished they're making big outlier mistakes. It's primarily that they have not really cracked the code of Orgless's defense. Now, the defensive lines, normally what was the primary difference from the first 4 rounds over up till now? Orgless, they were not playing aggressive at all. You can see how aggressive they are playing. They're taking a lot more forward angles to shut down these aggressive plays that could be coming in towards their side. And that's what's giving them that edge. But Vibe, with the judge, seems to be the one kryptonite for their side. They get spotted out, and good God, here comes the Hunter's Fury to try and isolate the angles, possibly get a catch. But nope, nothing can be found. Ivon needed to find that shot. He misses it, and Vibe is going to be able to find a triple. Hika shuts down Kel'Thuzad, though, with a double shock dart, which is a pretty smart call for him. But now Hika, he needs to find way more here. 2 versus 3, and Vibe extremely low on HP, so it could just work, but they need to kill this Viper, which will not be an easy feat for them whatsoever.
Even more so, the Viper's Pit is such a strong weapon.
What?
Still not working enough. What just happened? Hika 1v2 and Kawhi is still alive. Counters with counters, but it's still not enough. Hika actually succeeds this. Does he have enough time though?
More than
Yeah, he does. Man, Hika, what a clutch from him. Double Viper's Pit to deny so much information. And if I have to talk about Punisher's end, this is the first time that Kawhi gets to use his ultimate, because most of the previous round that you had expected, either Kusef or Hika always get the early pick, which means that Viper's Pit wasn't available most of the time from Team Punisher's end because they didn't had that right timing to apply it in the site itself. But once they had it, once they realized that, yeah, post-plant is our, we've got the Viper's Pit, well, surprise, surprise, Kusef also has the same thing. What? Okay. What an opening from
They
Punisher's
missed the
end.
shots. They missed their shots.
Yeah.
Orgless, they went so aggressive for that play, but if you miss your shots like that, man, you're just done for. Hika and Zoito, they're trying to maybe be the game changers on this side, and my god.
My goodness. What a shot though from Solo. The Vandal. Such a dangerous weapon at the hands of the right player. They haven't decided to plant the spike just yet. And they're making a decision to head in on a different side. B side it is. And Orgless, they're in a bit of a pickle. Not enough utilities from their end, but they still have the Hunter's Fury at the hands of Team Punished. So even though if they do head in with the spike defuse, it will be very tough for them to deal with. Snake's Bite already been used from Kawai's end. So does the smoke from the Viper, the mirror matches as I like to call it. Hunter's Fury, will that connect to any one of the players? No, it does not, but that will give at least good lines of sight for them to defend. And with it, Team Punished will also fight back.
Last round before the switch.
It's 6-5. Yeah, it's 6-5 aggressive.
Yep. They're taking a fight here, but again, this first initial play just put a bit of a question mark in my mind. I understand the strategy that they were going in for, but wasn't it a bit too unnecessary? A double-rounded push-up onto belt on top of a Sage Walk. Yeah, I understand the play, but unless you could... That's pretty rough. They both missed out on their shots, and that just caused an even bigger bump to happen.
And now, Team Punished, man, Kawhi, back again. He's containing the aggressiveness that Team Punished was doing 3 rounds back. And now they've got this under control. Zoid, that was an important shot. He missed it, and because of that, they've got the opening. Post plant and by God has the upper hand on high ground. Even more so, Kel'Thuzad is still here supporting his team. Everything is under control. The flanks are on lockdown. The site is entirely theirs. All they have to do is to hold out and ensure these two players doesn't get the opening pick. And looks like they will do exactly that. Zoid with the trade. But it's still not enough. He needs to find all 4 players. Revival is also available for the side of Team Punished. And now they're just running. They want to hunt down Zoid. The op shot misses once again. And he gets the final shot. Yes, it does. It's Solo who gets to take out Zoid. Ends out the first half on a 6-6. And if I have to be the devil's advocate aggressive on that previous round, Sammy and Kusev, since they've won a lot of aggressive peaks like they did on, on a belt most of the times, you even saw him remove a chamber out, right? So Sammy decided, you know what, since I'm looking very confident on my shots, how about I just keep continuing my aggression more and more and more and see whether if I can get an opening. Although sure, it worked out twice, it worked out thrice. But then something happened on 4. We even saw both Sammy and Haiwan push very aggressively from A pipes, near the A pipes, and then suddenly we get to see him with a lot of shots. We saw, the op shot from Vibegard to just immediately remove them out of the equation, and they even repeated it in the previous round as well. Both Sammy and Haiwan from mid, back again. And next thing, what happened? They adapted to the situation. They knew that they would go aggressive, and look what happened to it.
Too much aggression can always put you down a couple of steps, and you really do not want to be in this position. Hopefully now that they have this 1-minute tactical pause after every round, every side swap, they've gotten that opportunity to just kind of reiterate how they've been always going in for pushes, how they've been playing a lot of these rounds. Because, I don't know, man, it just feels a bit off. The members of Orgless, they're going in for very aggressive strategies, yes, and I'm one for aggression. But you've been doing this for like the last, 5 to 6 rounds, and yeah, sometimes it's going to work because your raw mechanical skill is going to push you through this. But I always tell you this, Baba, not just in Valorant, but in every other esports title as well, at least in a first-person competitive shooter, your gunfights are only 50-50. Your strategy is the thing that pushes you to 100%, but... Oh, the
boy.
timing.
Trap destroyed.
Good
Oh.
God. Hello, Hiccup.
Oh boy.
Teleport's gone.
That is rough. That is
That
rough.
that is sad, dude. That is actually sad.
Yeah, even more
Spike
sadness
planted.
will start to induce on Orgless's end because they are losing a lot of players. Kusev, not a lot of HP to contest. They need to make his shots count. They've somehow managed to equalize it 3-3, but it's too late. Cortex have got the advantage.
Revealing area.
Info from the recon.
Zoid. It's all up to Zoid.
Come
Good
on,
miss.
Zoid. Oh,
He missed.
that is unfortunate. Ivan, not good angle for him to even defuse the spike, but also get picked out from Cortex on the end. Good recovery from Punish's end, which means that the pistol round will be theirs once again. And man, for a moment when I saw Hiko's positioning, I was like, he's cornered. What can you do in a situation where there's two players, one on the front, one on the back? Even though if you succeed in winning one of the gunfights, you would eventually get picked out, right? But that's the thing. In every FPS games that you see, trade games is exactly what it's the most important thing in every strategies. If you get picked out, the refrag needs to happen. And if that refrag does not work out, if it's still a 4v5 situation in the early rounds and you choose to stay that way for more than 20 to 30 seconds, that danger would start to increase more and more, and the success rate of the one who has the advantage has the higher chances of winning that round. So I believe on that post-plant situation, when you saw Hiko get, punished exactly like that, the recovery that they've made was more than enough for for the team like Team Punish to come back like that. They'll at least open it up with a pistol win, which means that they'll have even much more economic growth to go on. Spectres in hand on the next round. It's 6-7. Can we see our team Orgless come back in a worse situation like this?
It's the Orgless. They need to switch up on their strategies. Team Punish, they are the much more favorable team to win just because of the way that they're playing. They're playing in a much more team-based format where their trades are facilitated by positioning. But on the other side of the spectrum, there's only the buddy system going on Orgless. Two players are constantly playing together, but sometimes I don't really see them peak together as often as they should. In a lot of different cases, they peak one by one, and that just completely throws off the rhythm for the team. And if this is how it's going to go moving on down the line, Orgless, they're just going to fall flat on their faces if they're not able to find that avenue that they're looking for. But I digress. Anything is possible for the team as long as we see some congestion, but it's not gonna be that easy for them. Orgless, they need that buy round to come in because they have to remember Team Punish, they've not only won out on the first initial half special run and of course the anti-eagle. If they win this anti-eagle as well, they have 4 rounds in the back for free pretty much. And these 4 rounds, they're gonna start adding up and cause even more pressure over towards Orgless.
I believe the time for aggression for Orgless has to continue on attack too. We've seen Sammy, we've seen Haivan do wonders in the first half. But do you think that they can succeed on the second half too? Those satchel charges are a precious utility for the Rays to have instant positioning wherever they want to. You can catch any agents off guard with that satchel charges by using that instant maneuver. But you also need to be careful about the economic growth too. Losing a pistol round like that will force yourself to be in a very difficult situation where you're just left out with the classics, you're just left out with sheriffs. Even more so, force buying that round will be even more riskier for Orgless's end because what if they lose it? What if they lose the force buy round? That would end up another free win for the side of Team Punished. Even more so, the higher success rates that they have on the next future rounds will even cement map number 1 if they are not careful about this. And if you guys are wondering why exactly we're back on the caster scam, it mainly has to do with some technical issues back again. No pause timer has been used out from both the teams. Although we did see one in the first half, which means that we still have a bit of time pauses left in the second half itself, especially on the hands of Team Orgless. Orgless has another pause time; they could use it. And maybe they might use it, especially when things might go south for them. Say, for an example, if they lose this round, the the second round of the second half, if they lose this, which means that we will see Team Punished be in the bonus round. They'll have Spectres, they'll have Marshals, and what's interesting is that if just by looking at this right now, Why by God has made a decision to bring in the Spectres instead. He's not going to bring in the Marshal just like he did on round number two. His shots weren't looking on point in the early rounds, but suddenly he starts to gradually be accurate. He starts to succeed in getting the shots. He succeeded in getting all those picks, but this time on defense he chose to have the Spectre instead. So I have to ask Aggressive, why is Why by God bringing the Spectre in the second half on defense while he chose to pick Marshall on the second round while he was on attack?
I do believe that this falls into the category of if he wants to play super aggressive or does he want
Hmm.
to play passive. Here, I do believe that Vibe's opting to go in for a much more aggressive route, possibly gain a lot more space using the Spectre. And the Spectre allows you to be very dangerous in those close proximity fights. And I do believe, with that in mind, he can go in for those pushes as much as he wants. The Marshal, on the other hand, is pretty much guaranteed one hit body kill on these particular routes. No one really buys armors when it comes down to ecos, possibly a sheriff, so they can have the one shot potential to the head. That's pretty much it. Now, the Marshal, in my eyes, is always the superior weaponry in comparison to the Spectre, considering that you're just paying what 950 credits for a weapon that one shots to the body with no armor, two shot to the body with armor, and one shot to the head guaranteed. While against the Spectre, which is 1600 credits, there's a good opportunity that you will not be able to get the kill if the opponent's on long range. You need 3 bullets from the Spectre to guarantee that kill, something that's not really that beneficial, and you just fall into that loop of just hating yourself the more often you use the Spectre. Or that's probably just me. Whenever I use the Spectre, I just miss the easiest kills of my life. And then with a Marshal, I get an ace, and then I'm sitting there. Why the hell do I buy this weapon? And then I buy and then I buy the Marshal on a Phoenix, and then I just probably hate myself for the rest of the game. It happens to the best of us, okay? I'm a Marshal main when it comes down to the anti-eco rounds. Then I pick a Marshal on Phoenix, on Haven. I peek out of Garage, then I get popped in the head by a Sheriff. And I'm like, why the hell did I pick this with this agent? It just doesn't work. But it's completely fine. Because the Spectre is a weapon that gives you the advantage of close proximity versus the long range potential of the Marshal. And Vibe opting for the much more aggressive approach, go in for the kills as much as you can with your team, knowing that your opponents are on weaker buys and understanding that, hey, maybe if they do not pick up the Marshal, then we have an easy avenue to push our way forward. Another primary reason why a lot of teams like the Spectre is the carryability over to the following round. You can't really carry the Marshal over as much on Icebox because you need to play a lot more aggressive with that particular gun, and you can't always play defensive and hope to get a win.
Well, finally, our tech pauses comes to an end, which means the action can continue, and his team Punished, who has got the advantage. Wait a minute, they're already using flanks. Solo Man has already lost one, but Why by God is still alive. And turns out, now I understood why Why by God has decided to bring in the Spectre. They want to engage in close encounter gunfights, and looks like it has succeeded in doing more so. What's even more problematic is that Orgless, they're just down with 2 man.
And you have a
One
Spectre
enemy
for
remaining.
themselves, but again,
Spike
Vibe
down A.
so aggressive when he has that Spectre in his hand. Perfect on the shots. The flick's gonna be accurate. Gonna snap to the face. Sami's gonna get taken out as well. And Sami, yeah, he's probably kicking himself for that one. Imagine if that was a Marshal in Sami's hand. Ooh la
Oh
la,
boy.
that's a free kill right there.
That would have been. Now I've got to ask. Remember the one that you said that whenever you picked Phoenix with the Marshal, you just got one tap from the Sheriff? Is the guy named as the baddest guy in the Wild Wild West?
It is acted, didn't you?
I mean, I had to. Come on, it's the Sheriff. It's one of the most powerful weapons in the eco round, and although yes, Sheriff's has its own main share of reasons, but let's just focus on this. Let's just focus on this because bye, he might make a play of this round. He might make a play, and that play will be huge. Oh no, he survives. Information's been given, and God needs to forget. Oh, he's gone. He is gone. But that will at least give the necessary information that Team Punish requires. And look at the outcome of this. Both of them slow on HP. Soa's been gone. Even more so, they have more control. And even with the trade game from Haiwan, do you really think it's more than enough? 3v3. Although there is still a chance. There's a chance. Haiwan! Beautifully done. Cortez is gone. Post plant, and this time, Orgless has things under control.
Ouch. You just do not want to see stuff like that happen to you whatsoever. Sami, though, he's not the timing for it, but nope. Kel'Thuzad's way faster on the plays. Oh my god, Kel'Thuzad! The big bad Lich. He's going to be able to live and put up the magic scoreline for this entire game. 69 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. And Team Punished, they're out here to play.
By the time you get to see Orgless, who just got a wonderful opening on the A side. Next thing you know is just Team Punished. Man, I just cannot believe they recovered that round, Aggressive. How did they recover that round? It was a post plant. It was a 2v3. They would have just simply gained control, but the element of surprise that Team Punished had, both of them deciding to flank out from a belt, man, that was huge. This is huge once again. Kusef with the Sheriff. At this time, you could say that it's almost a half buy round from the hands, and by God, oh my god, he might be able to get all 5 players. Information's been given, but not the confirmation from him in the end. By God, he'll be able to get one. But that Sheriff will ensure the trade-outs. Kawhi wants to peek once again, and I'm not quite sure if this is a good idea from Team Punish's end. Well, maybe it is. Kel'Thuzad comes back. That's the second kill. And now, all Team Punish needs to do is just fall back from the side and wait for the attackers to make their play.
Here.
Cole can just chill and wait here for as long as he can. His teammates are going to come in, but this is not going to be as pretty as they would hope for here. Not just yet, at least. Positions are prime. Dave's going to get a couple of catches here. Big Daddy Kawhi comes in to get that kill out towards the base of Sami. 2 bodies drop, and the last one's going to be Hika. Before he dies, he's going to be able to take one to the grave with him, though. 6 and 10. With that, Team Punished. There's a reason why they're the much more favorable team to try and win out on this occasion. But just look at the team play and the way that they're playing around one another. Yeah. First of all, Big Daddy Kawhi, yes, he peeked out a bit too early there. But the thing is, he didn't die, and that gave Kel'Thuzad enough space to push in from mid and get that final frag up on the player playing from the mid lobby area. And with that kill, they could have easily just run around, go in for the heal, and play for the complete retake. Beautiful utility usage, and the fact that this aggressive play also works out. Vivey gets the shutdown with the operator. That's another free frag for them to work with, and this is why the Jet is so powerful. You can play so aggressive with her. While in comparison to the Raze, you can't really play with that operator as often now, can you?
Yeah, you cannot. But the revival, though, from Haiwan will ensure that the aggressive plays that Team Punish did will be punished for it, which means that there is still hopes and dreams for Orgless Esports to come back on this round. And look at the decision that they're making. They think that Bye God is still holding on from A, and they're deciding, you know what, let's just push in from B. Let's see whether we can proceed with this execute. Bye God once again from mid. Do they have information about this whereabouts? Now they do. Wall's been blocked. They know the execute is on B. A lot of gunfires being thrown around. A lot of utilities being placed from the default plant.
Love the angle. Okay.
That was a good angle though, but unfortunately he had to, go down because his location was compromised. But look at the time. It's 35 seconds, and somehow this frag that we see from Solomon's end, taking out the Viper, will give a lot of problems on the attacker's end. How can you establish blocking lines of sight now? You cannot use smokes anymore. And now they're just intel-less. They have to push, and somehow they need to work alongside with it. Hunter's Fury seeing whether they can get an opening pick or not. Ika doing his best share of efforts to hold his ground, but it's still not enough. God is still walking from below, and so does the other rest of the players. Cortex, it will be there. Perfect defense. And that opening pick from the chamber, solo, that was crucial. Aggressive.
Once more.
Yeah.
Just look at Kel'Thuzad's face. He knows the way that they play. That was the perfect textbook approach to holding down a site and to prevent a plant. Again and again and again, the members of Team Punish, they are showcasing their dominance when it comes down to playing together as a team. Their crossfire setups, their combination, and the way that they use utility, the communication lines are so clear. But on Orgless, you can already see the primary flaw. I don't need to tell you any of that. It's sticking out like a sore thumb. We're looking at a team using individual skill level to try and break through the lines of Team Punish. That's just not working. They need to work together as a team. Otherwise, they're down in the deep end here already.
Turns out there's a force buy from Orgless. That force buy will give them the upgrade that they need. Op in the hands of Zoid, and that op will be deadlier at the hands of M. They'll succeed in taking out Cortez, which means Haivan. Oh boy, information, patience, and precision. We'll also get the upgrade. Revival from Kel'Thuzad. And this time, Orgless might have an opening. This force buy might have given them the chance to succeed on this execute. Not a lot of abilities does the defenders have to defend this site. Kel'Thuzad still alive and kicking. Succeed in taking out Hika, but it's too late. Sam is here on the upper hand. He even has control on the high ground. And even more so solo. What can you do in a situation like this? He cannot do anything in a situation like that. 7-11. Orgless making a risky decision for a force buy really did give the peak that they wanted to have, especially at the hands of Kusef. Taking out God immediately from the tunnel's end was more than enough to get the upgrade of the weapon, and even more so, they even forced the side of Team Punish to be a bit aggressive. And because of that, we will see Orgless fight back 7-11. And I have to say, on that previous execute that we saw from Orgless, when we did get to see Solo take out Kusev, then and there itself, I realized that it was all over on that round. Because the Viper's wall, the smokes to block line of sight was so much important for the attacker's end. Once you remove it out, you have long range angles that the attackers needs to contest. And even more so, the control on B Orange was never at their hands. Very well done though with that execute. But this round though, on this force buy, you got to give appreciation to Orgless as well. They've done a great job on handling out the force buy rounds, which means that they have control. And with this timeout, we might be able to see the side of Team Punish do the same thing. I guess we do. 19 kills to God, 15 kills to Zoid. They have all the ultimates that they need on. They have all the ultimates that they need on the defensive end. Hunter's Fury, Viper's Pit, everything is available for them. All they have to do is find the perfect timing. God, second attempt. Oh boy!
How many times is he gonna do this and get away with it? Viper's been doing this for what? The last 4 rounds and finally it worked? No one checked him this time. They got a kill on the Zoid. That's the Sentinel going down this early on the attacking side before the round even began.
They can flank now. Would you look at that? With the chamber gone, you don't have to worry about any traps. And this will be even more concerning on Orgless's end. They've already lost 1 player. And my God, God decides to do the same thing in the previous round that got himself picked out. And he succeeds in taking out the Sentinel. But the smokes are still available though for the attacker's end. They could block a lot of line of sight. They could use the paint bombs to take out a lot of line of sight. Oh boy, showstopper, Sammy, kill, very important, Kawaii. That's exactly what he needs. They've even got the wall, post plant, Hunter's Fury to deny the plant. This will give them a lot of time, even more so the confirmation of the kill. Haivan is dead. Sammy, the Opera is dead as well. Bye God. They will finally succeed on the plant. Kel'Thuzad, such a huge flank, and that flank will give them the kill that he needs. So does Cortex at the hands of Sammy. Patience.
So good.
Patience is the key to virtue. And looks
Oh my
like being
God.
punished.
He actually gets away with it!
He gets away.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
Away,
God.
Kuchev. Oh boy. What an attempt. It was very close though. Gotta admit, from Orgless, Kusev, man, so close, but yet so far. And Kel'Thuzad will finally be the one to end it away. 7-12. Match point is in at the hands of Team Punished. All they need is one round win. And if you take a look at the previous round itself, Aggressive, there were a lot of utilities which was used, right? Hunter's Fury was used, even more so the Showstopper. But what's even more terror from Orgless's end is that they need to figure out a way to take out Kawhi. He has the Viper's Pit. And I'm pretty much sure he's going to use it on the A side. Which means that they're
I don't
forced
think
to
so.
execute on
They're
B.
playing aggressive on
Yeah.
A.
Oh yeah, they're playing aggressive. Alright. Okay.
The fact that they have 3 members there already puts a massive damper on their plans. And Hypon, yes, the spike! He's
Oh,
sitting
no.
on A with the spike. They're trying to sell the fake here on B. But I don't think any of them are gonna buy it.
They might though. No, they won't. At this point, all 4 Viper's Pet. They even got the Altob. They're trying to sell off the B execute. And look at where Sova is. He almost missed the chance to take out this Sage, Hyvan. Now knowing that there's confirmation, all he has to do was just execute on B and solo.
Here.
He gets the opening. Hika's gone, so does his chance to use the Hunter's Fury in Buyback God once again. He's playing so close. Bladestorm is in. Every single utility has been expanded and Kel'Thuzad gets caught off. This is concerning for Punished. They are in match point. Buyback God. The shot is deadlier as always. Secondary shot won't be able to get it. But look at where Cortez is. He's trying to play around it.
It was a perfect timing.
Perfect
Oh,
timing.
you got it.
Kawaii. Oh,
The
boy,
shoulders, the
Kawaii.
shoulder.
That's one. No! No, he did not.
Kill my ally.
That is a blunder. That's a blunder.
Yeah, that's a save. Run away solo. Because, ouch, that's a massive hit for their end. At the end of the day, Kuna Matata, but still,
What a
they could have
wonderful
easily
play.
won out on this round. Good God, that's gotta hurt. That's gonna leave a mark.
And 8-12. You could see the amount of tensions that Punish have to go through right now. They just lost the round. Even though they did succeed in the previous round, their economic growth was not looking too good. And look at the buy here. Bit of saves, Sheriffs from Cortez, Stinger from Kawaii, and this time the Viper Spit will be used on A. Which means that the attackers will be forced to make an execute on B once again with a broken buy. You could say that Orgless has a chance to win this round too, but if there's an opening, the opening that Soloman could do with his Headhunter, this can be huge. Plant is in. Post-plant will happen. Viper's Pit working to no avail because the execute is at B.
Sabi,
And now the
this gets
pressure
played
is
so
on.
dangerously.
Oh man.
A little bit of a early Hunter's Fury. That could just be costly, but Vibey, he's trying to go in for the updraft play to try and survive it. Hyban's gonna be able to find that CAD, so whip it on the sidelines though. Has the perfect angle at the shot. He's gonna be able to get it as well here. And yep, that's the cleanup. Kawhi coming in at the back end with the Stinger. He's able to cause some damage though at the bare minimum, but down to 5 HP. Not really much that they can do. Save out the guns for as long as they possibly can. And Kel'Thuzad looking for the first. Just trying to go in for the second. Maybe he gets it. Nope, not today. Hyvan gets the shutdown. And the 9 and 12 is coming in. Remember what I said before here, Baba? Good chance this heads down to a 13 and 10 if the members of Team Punished are able to shut down the early aggressive plays that Orgless normally go in for. the early aggressive plays were taken out, and Team Punish, they were able to live it down through. But Orgless, they already got the 6 rounds that they wanted. And with that, they had that clean slate to keep pushing themselves forward here on their own attacking side. 13 and 10, it's my prediction, but you know, I could always be wrong.
Yeah, I totally agree on that aggressive. And also, you did forget to say Hakuna Matata. It is
It's a
a wonderful
wonderful
phrase. It means no worries, but
And I think
you still need to be worried about Viper's end, though. Man, that shot is devastating from Orgless. They found the opening once again. They want to pressure on the B side, but this wall, what happened to that wall? This is more concerning. They're so close on the B side. They've got the control and they locked it out. Uh-oh. Looks like an oopsie daisy is in account for Orgless's end. They have mid-control,
He
two
took the
players,
spam. He did. He didn't know the
info,
player was close, but Zoid is getting the advantages.
revive, everything is in. Now, the finale. Kel'Thuzad.
Oh, just look at the guy.
Look at the excitement on Kel'Thuzad, man. But that job's not done yet, folks. That is just map number 1, which means there is still hopes and dreams for Team Orgless to succeed on map number 2. But man, what a performance! What a dominating performance from Team Punished. 21 kills to by guard. And boy, oh boy, does he love to do aggressive plays. I could say the same thing for Sammy, although that aggressiveness did come to a hold in the second half. But all in all, map number 1, it goes to the hands of Team Punished, 13-9. And boy, oh boy, I am excited to see what will happen on map number 2.
Anything is possible. Kel'Thuzad, man, he came alive at the best possible times. The Immortal Lich is always there to surprise us all. And hey, he's going to be the one to raise the dead one more time. The members of Team Punish, they've been taken out over and over again by a lot of the teams in Qualifiers 1 and in Qualifiers 2. But now they're out here to play. The wild card is the last opportunity to get down over to those final stages for here in the wild card and possibly find themselves that last spot in the entirety of the group stages. As we head on down over to the highlights and live all the moments by the members of Team Punished and Orgless one more time, I have to give credit for credit is due, because the members of Orgless, they tried, but the team play and synergy coming in from Team Punished far outclassed anything they could have.
Yeah, what a fight that they gave Orgless Esports. Especially Sam though, on the first half. And he was so excited for that aggro push from the A, when he was at the A side. Suddenly the adaptation that Punish did, punishing whatever strategies that they did on the second half. And for a moment there, me and Aggressive, we were a bit worried knowing that, you know, maybe Orgless might get the opening. They could get it. Winning map number 1 was exactly what they were trying to do, but unfortunately there will be some certain mistakes, and that mistakes had to be that last final round. Aggressive, the wall, somehow one of the wall was opened up, and I kind of feel like one of the defenders though from the side of Team Punished, yes, it was Kel'Thuzad or maybe Solo, who just opened up the wall when the wall was placed. Really did give the opening that they need for Hika to, you know, head on in and be much more aggressive from that side itself. So a really great job on that defensive hold from Team Punish's end. And Vibegard, man, the sheer amount of unexpected plays that he does, doing the same thing 2 times, like the tunnel push that we've seen. First though, didn't work out because Kusev did remove him out. And then the second time, where most of the players wouldn't expect to do the same thing, he did it. What's even more promising was that he succeeded in a kill, dashes away to safety. Next thing you know, they're just Team Orgless was left in a very difficult spot. First blood, 7 first bloods from Vibegard. The opening pick is exactly what you need to be focused on. as a duelist, and Vibegod has done an exceptional job in doing so. Kel'Thuzad, on the other hand, he was the one who was planting most of the spikes. The revives was on point. Although on the other hand, on Kawhi's end, he didn't get to use his Viper Spit a lot in the first half. We didn't get to use his Viper Spit for almost like 5 to 6 rounds because he was the one who was getting picked out early in the round itself. But all in all, in the end, he was trying to get a mid control in the second half. He was ensuring that none of the attackers wouldn't get the best of it with the flanks. So he was doing a great job at it, and evidently it gave them the win that they want. As we take a look at the MVP scoreboards, Vibegod 21 kills, Zoid 19 kills. We will see Team Punished win map number 1.
See, every single player from Team Punish were able to perform. Kawhi, he had a pretty rough going for a couple of rounds with some misses here and there, but honestly speaking, nothing much of an outlier. He was consistent in the way that he used his utility. He was able to slow down very aggressive pushes coming over to his side. Fortes and him were always back and forth, shock dart in place, exactly where all of the snake bites were thrown. The 75 damage coming in from the Sova amplified to the point of no return. It's a guaranteed one-shot kill. And when you have that in your arsenal, especially when both the initiator and the controller are communicating so fluently, that's what you gotta love to see. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, if the map of Icebox was that heated up and it's melting down, I'm pretty sure that Haven is just gonna get even better. Orgless, this is their opportunity to strike. Otherwise, they're out of this entire wildcard event. But for now, we're going to be heading on down over into short break, and we'll be right back after a short word from our sponsors. But don't forget, make sure to check out the links down in the description below and get yourself a ticket for the arena and also a ticket to Bangalore if you don't have one. But hey, we'll be right back in just a little bit.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics. From the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. From the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AMD Ryzen with Windows 11 presents the Icebox Challenger Series, powered by Crucial. Your boy Aggressive is back with Baba on his side, and after the first initial game, a banger of a set coming in from Team Punish on a 13-9 scoreline. Honestly, Team Orgless, they have a lot to prove here because the map of Icebox just left so much to be desired for when it comes down to the team play level of the game, because I didn't see any of that. Peaks were being taken on the solo level. They were over aggressive in so many of their fights. They were not switching up their strategies to slow things down a bit more. It just didn't add up at all. As we head on down over onto Haven, though, it just I hope I see a completely new, different light for this team because Haven is their home map. This is their home pickup, and they need to perform here. Otherwise, it's just all done and dusted for them. I don't understand exactly what they could be going for to gain that advantage here, though. But the composition that they do run, I personally love it.
Yeah, talk about the agents pick itself. Man. Breach, Neon from both Zoid and Haiwan. It's just like I expected that it would happen though on map Haven. Since they're on attack, I can clearly understand why they would do it in the first place. And now I believe the defenders on the side
The
needs to
Killjoy,
figure out. Yeah,
not the Killjoys.
Killjoy. I believe it's a double initiator comp once again. Still have the chamber. I kind of feel like they need to see whether if they could counter the way how the attackers operate. So maybe a combo would work out. We don't see fade from any of the two teams, so there's just currently relying on both the controllers itself. Omen on the side of Kusef, and also from Baby Kel'Thuzad, the man who's been making a lot of plays on the Sentinels wise. Is now playing as the Astra. Gravity Well is such a useful utility if timed right. And if you time it well from Neon's end when she sprints out towards the site itself, if you catch her in that gravity pull, the entire the entire pressure that they were trying to make will instantly get denied in the early round itself. So let's see how it will happen on the side of Team Orgless's end in map number 2, knowing that they have their counters agents being pegged, chamber on both of these sides. But what's most important is Why by God still playing as the Jet. We've seen him make a lot of plays on map Icebox. Can we get to see Team Punish do the same thing on map number 2? Or will we see Deciders, in which, like you said, Aggressive might go at the hands of Team Orgless if time and tide goes in their favor?
It's just one of those moments when you just reminisce on the fact that the map of Haven really does not facilitate the fade as much as you would hope for, because at least in our region and in other regions, of course, the breach is just something that you must have on this map to shut down the Killjoy from getting picked up. Killjoy is such a menace on this map. She's an absolute nuisance to deal with. And there's a reason for it. That lockdown can gain so much space in comparison to any of the other characters that if you don't have a Killjoy, if you don't have a breach on your team, the Killjoy just runs rampant, completely shutting you down before you can even go in for a lot of those different pushes. The same problem falls onto Ascent, but with Ascent being a weaker map for Breach, that's why a lot of people don't pick him up on there. But on Haven, the way that he facilitates the attack due to his fault line, stop aggressive pushes from coming in on towards A main. There's so much that you can do. And these are the type of shutdowns that the Breach allows. But the primary difference in the compositions here between Orgless and Team Punished is that Team Punished are going for a much more utility-based composition, primarily on the Astra pickup, while Orgless much more aggression, space creation that needs to be taken over again and again. I always put these emphasis on teams who pick up the Neon. She is not a solo duelist. She requires someone to run on behind her to use that space properly. Otherwise, you're not gaining anything out of picking this character. Why not even just pick a Jet? Jet is so much better to utilize the space she creates all by herself. And I really hope that Zoid is not going to be put under that pressure. All this, they've been doing that quite often. Zoid, if he's not able to perform and gain the space and gain frags off of it, it just doesn't work out for him. But look at Kel'Thuzad. Timing's going to be perfect, but no! He falls asleep on the angle. He's going to get caught for it. And Zoid, he gets one. He's trying to go in for the secondary. Doesn't really find the shot, though. And Vibe is looking for even more.
Yeah, the angle from Solo might help him to hold that ground, and bye-bye, doing what he does best. Will succeed in holding out that sight on towards C. Round number 1. Beautiful crossfire angles being placed from both Solo and Why by God. That'll eventually halt the aggressive push being made from Orgless. And like that, they will win their pistol rounds. The timing itself from both the breaches, we did get to see in the early round where Haiwan did get, did had the concussed effects from the other breach too, from Kawai's end. But now, look at the pick. Bulldog from Solo, Marshall from Why by God. which means that there'll be even much more problems on towards the A side. Pull combo and the concussion. Ivan, he just runs away. And looks like they want to do the same execute in towards garage. Once again, information, smokes, everything's been placed. Kawhi's been concussed, but somehow he is still alive. His position isn't compromised, which means they can make a big play, and that flash will be a huge factor for him. Kel'Thuzad, can he win this gunfight? No, he does not. Zoid once again gets the early pick, but Kawhi does the unthinkable. Patiently waiting. Gets to take out one. Meanwhile, we see God on the other hand taking out the flank. And just like that, we see Team Punish gaining control back again. While Kusev and Sami needs to do something to hold off the aggressive plays that Team Punish are going to do.
What a... God damn it. Big Daddy Kawhi. Just send him back to his maker there, and Sami all by his lonesome. Did buy up a sheriff, though. It's a slight bit questionable. Why pick up a sheriff on Chamber, but whatever floats your boat, buddy. Let's get taken out a couple of pegs, though, and
30
he's gonna
seconds
work his
left.
way up solo as the Bulldog in hand, and pretty much should be the one to take contention here. Big Daddy Kawhi, though, doesn't really need to peek. You can just wait. He has 2 flashes, so just chill. You can just hold. Sami goes into the awaiting arms of Solo. 2-0. Very standardized pick. Pretty strong hold. They take another one for themselves, and with this, they're gonna be happy. But the real question is, will Orgless be able to retaliate now that they have the buys on their hands? This is very standard for Orgless, you have to remember about that. They lose out on the first 2 rounds every single time when it comes down to pistols. But as soon as the buy rounds come in, the team completely changes shit.
It always does. And I still like the way how Solo still making a decision to bring in the Bulldog, and I can understand why. He has the tour de force, but wait a minute, by God, aggro push, concussions and pulls doesn't work out, but that's exactly what they're trying to wait, and that wait is gonna cost by God to get one. Sami falls it back with yet another trade. They'll get some recent weapons from their hands, and with that aggressive plays being made from Punish's end, although they might have some information, but can they succeed in fending off the attacks that Orgless are about to do in this execute? There'll be straight time. Ivan, aftershock, Cortez needs to fall back, evidently do so, but he wants to contest that angle. Almost he gets to take out the breach. Somehow he'll stay alive in 16 HP. He doesn't have the Sage, neither does Sky to give them the healing that they need to survive. And this will be dangerous for them, because Kel'Thuzad, he's ready. Patience. And that patience will reward him 1 kill. The second, not quite much. But the information will be given nonetheless. Smokes, execute, everything will be present. Now we just have to see how will the teams from Team Punish hold their ground. Kawhi, flashed, but still alive. Spectres in hand. That's 1, that's 2. Beautiful shot. Ivan is still on 16 HP, which means that 1v1 clutch can happen. But let's not forget, Ivan is also at the same situation. He has the Phantom in hand, no information, and that information will give Ivan the win that he needs. All he had to do was just push from garage, stay silent, and let the flank give the win. It was a 1v1, so if the attackers do initiate a spike plant, a retaliation would come back. So he had to be aggressive, he had to, find that pick as fast as possible, and he did exactly that. A job well done from Orgless' end. They'll secure their attack rounds, which means that Team Punish will be back with another eco round. 2 shorties, 1 stinger from Kel'Thuzad. So let's see how well does Team Punish will secure their anti-eco round.
That round was a very expensive round, mind you, from Orgless, so they're not going to be happy about that whatsoever, but a stack over from the other end, that's going to be a pretty costly one. But Zoid sliding straight into the DMs of Kawhi, catches him off guard. First initial shutdown's going to be good, but Vibe not expecting the window flare? Bit questionable on that regard, and now it's Kel'Thuzad's turn. Swing out with a stinger, it's just so quick, it's just so fast. With another one for themselves. Good amounts of damage though from the defensive side, that's what you would love to see. And this level of damage is what the members of Team Punish are looking to find. 2 members going down and the defense being on complete eco weaponry, that's more than you can ask.
What would be the decision though from Orgless time? Thinking of any execute. Sova still holding on, which means only a shock dart will be used to give info. And when that information's been given, Astra would immediately place her stars and try to see whether if they can use the gravity well. Concussions, beautifully done. Which means that the attack will be held on quite a bit. But they will continue nonetheless. Information from our drone. Everything is in place. All utilities been used on the A side. And now that since that they're confirmed on pressing their matters from the A side, Rolling Thunder is also in, and now here comes the tension from Punish's end. Only one player has been caught out. That wall bang. That wall bang though. We'll be able to get one. Post plant, 2v5 and back again. It's Team Punish who are facing the wrong end of the stick.
Ivy. I think he's gonna get taken down as well. Didn't spot out the gun barrel. Tunnel vision to its greatest content. And it's all up to Kel'Thuzad to try and find something here. Lich is immortal, but even the Lich show that it believes the curse is not strong enough. Does get a headshot over onto one, but that's pretty much it. He's gonna get caught. He's gonna get put into a bag at 3, 2, and 1. Yep, let's take it to put him in and toss him over. 2 and 3, ladies and gentlemen. And with this, they get another round for themselves in contention. But again, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt still. They're trying to figure out exactly how the offensive lines for Orgless are working. But on the map of Haven, we have seen this time and time again. Orgless, they just show so much comportability that they can overwhelm any team on this particular map unless their aggression gets put to a full stop. And that's exactly what Kawhi is trying to do, but for these retakes, they need to take their time. Going in too early really did cost them there on the first initial engagement. That's why they're in this position.
Here.
What's the best part about Orgless is that they committed to the A side. Most of the time when we see Orgless, they would usually see whether if they can get a pick or two, and then suddenly they would just immediately reposition themselves and find another side to proceed. But committing to the site once again, and succeeding at that too in the previous round, I'd give them the idea of doing it once again, because look at the weapons that Punishers have. Judge from Bye Guard, execute already in towards the A side. Kawhi is playing this very patiently. He's playing it near the smoke. Control is in, post plant. Everything is going well for Orgless. What will be their major factor? That will be the Zoid. 2 kills. And this time you could say that Orgless has things under control in the first half. Kusef watching the flank, won't have any problem in taking out Kel'Thuzad, which means that Bye Guard will be the last player left. Has the judge in hand, which means his attacks will be judged. And I believe that will happen in a mere matter of seconds. There you go, that's one. Judgment Day is near, or is it close? No!
Why with the classic?
Why with the classic? Judge would have been more than enough. No, I think
Ready.
he panicked. Did he not?
I think
He
the
had the
scroll wheel
judge.
button didn't work.
Ah, maybe so.
Actually, there's a bug in this game, if I remember correctly, where if you use your abilities, for some reason, your classic comes out instead of your main weapon. My girlfriend has the same issue for some reason. Whenever she uses an ability, suddenly her secondary comes out instead of her primary.
Yeah, I guess the classics were like, please notice me.
Not this me, senpai.
Please use me, classic. I don't.
And the
get-"
classic is very powerful.
Yeah.
I have this. He nearly could have gotten the kill. The Bermuda Triangle was formed, but it was formed right above his head. So Chamber got a haircut. He already has fabulous hair, but I think Vibe just ruined it a little bit there.
I mean, all in all, even if his haircut is ruined, in the next round everything is reset, right? So his haircut will be fine. 2 to 4. 4 rounds at the hands of Orgless, not having any problems on the attacker's end. And this time, this will be a bit concerning on Punish's defense. They've only secured 2 rounds on defense. And I have to say, This time, they have to do something about this, right? They have their weapons. I mean, currently, when it comes to the weapons-wise, they have the Vandals, the Phantoms, even more so, Why God has the AWP in hand, which means everything is on. But if Punish loses this round, then Orgless will have a huge advantage. That's what they're trying to do here.
Taking a couple of steps back from this stuff. I really want to see exactly what the plan is on this particular round. Both sides have ample buys to work with. Advantage over towards Orgless and Manan. Nearly getting caught out there, but still. Nothing really to worry about here. Back on up. Kel'Thuzad is going to be able to find the first. Zoid getting taken down. Space was created, but again, the problems of congestion came in. No one was present to try and support Zoid. He's making the space, but no one can really do anything about it. And with that, they have a little bit more to work with here, but Haiban on his left side, that's another problem to worry about. Timing is everything, and Sami, beautiful tap over onto one, and also deals a good amount of chunk damage over to Kel'Thuzad. Sami, though, very low on HP. He's gonna be able to get away. Kawhi's not gonna expect it. That's the first look at Haiban! Never mind.
Nowhere to run!
Sammy is just still playing according to sound cues. He did get one, but Kawhi is doing so many work. Holding from
30
B
seconds
side
left.
and also he's holding
One
on
enemy
Garage.
remaining.
What?
Spike down mid.
2 angles.
How did he get
Kawhi.
that?
How? Man.
No business finding that either. But with
Yeah.
the spike being in no man's land and the drone coming in, okay, Hika, he just swung out, didn't even give a damn about what happens to him there.
10 seconds
Needs to
left.
push in to try and pick up the spike, but I don't think he has enough time. Too many angles to check. 4 seconds left. They're just gonna run away. The spike is just gonna be stuck there. And Hika, he saves the gun, but Orgless, they have enough money to go in for buys regardless in the following round, so it's fine.
And I wish I could have seen Kawhi's POV's end. He had to focus on both Garage as well as on B side. They already had the information from Sammy's end, right? Sammy even heard the jump cues from the chamber. He even jumped peek to see whether on Kawhi's whereabouts. They had the info. But something happened afterwards. Like, how did Kawhi get away with more than 2 kills? Not only securing the B side, he also gets to remove Sammy out of Garage. That is huge. From Punish's end, that is. 3-4. They have succeeded the important round that they want. And now, they want to make an execute into the side once again. Op shots, Owl drone, they have the info. Will we see a smoke or a flash from the attacker's end? Or a concussion? I believe that will happen. Haiban, flash is ready, which means they'll just easily push in towards the side. Oh! Shot! From the Vandal.
Vimy didn't really hear it? I thought he heard the flash. He was expecting it. He didn't even move. Cortez though over from the sides. Oh god. Oh, how did he still got that? What?
At this point,
Gotta go.
man. Sword is already in.
Nice one.
30 seconds left.
What? Wait.
Standing.
Kawhi still got that?
Okay.
Yes, that's a 6
Kawhi was full blinded. You saw that.
Yeah, I guess I did not quite sure what exactly happened though, but yeah, I did see the flash from Haiwan's end, but somehow he gets away with everything. Control back again from the A side. Man. I mean, there is a lot of confusion that I still have to talk about, Aggressive. First things first, the Jet. I mean, I can understand. Vibegard, he was mainly concerned, or maybe he was tunnel vision from the AWP, because he know that that flash would happen. He thought maybe if I could just shoot and just dash away, I would be safe. But the timing was a bit too short. And And somehow securing securing the entire site on A is the one thing that I did not expect from Team Punish's end. Rolling Thunder is available too, which means even if they do successfully execute on the B side, which in fact they will do, Pran is in. Do we see the Rolling Thunder? Yes, it is. But it's too late. Spike's been planted, so does the Aftershock. Oh no, the timing. Why, my God. The timing to take out the Rolling Thunder was so crucial and beneficial. So 3v4. Cosmic Divide will come back, which means that the defenders can easily defuse the spike. They need to rely on their utilities. They need to rely on utilities. With direct push. We'll get one. Does Hika has another shock dart? Yes, he does. But they're pushing aggressive, but it's too late. Cosmic Divide for the win. Cosmic Divide. Kel'Thuzad. Beautiful. Beautiful Kel'Thuzad. Look how happy he is right now.
He's for the camera, man. He loves the camera. If he has the cam on him, this guy is on a different level. You have not seen this level of gameplay from him anywhere else. But as soon as his cam gets turned on, it feels as though Team Punish has a completely different light.
Look at that timing. I just cannot believe Kel'Thuzad did that. Man, Cosmic Divide. Beautifully done. See. Oh man. I have to say, if Haiwan did get to use his Rolling Thunder, maybe they would have had the chance to deny the aggressive push that the defenders were trying to do, but it was too late. Vibegod was there with the shorty.
Teleport's ready.
A little bit of confusions or distractions were made a bit into the C place. Aftershocks being placed to deny Zoid, and here comes Execute on A with the help of Rolling Thunder. Might be able to pick out Vibegod, Sammy, Zoid, Hika, all three of them are still alive, but that gravity well timed it to perfection. Will give Cortex the win that he needs. But it's too late. Control on the A side is theirs. Post plant will be there, and Cortex is still alive.
Spike planted.
Post plant 2v3, Hunter's Fury is also available. All it needs is just information, and that information, let's not forget about Kel'Thuzad. He's still alive, he's still kicking. 2v2, all it needs is just the cover. Attackers have control. Hunter's Fury blind fires, won't be able to find one, and that is an ultimate being wasted. Kel'Thuzad, can he succeed once again? Can we see the same repeat like he did in the previous round? They have all the utilities. Orgless has everything. Shock darts, denials. Time is of the essence, and yet we don't see them reviving it back up. Oh, this is huge. This can happen. Kel'Thuzad,
They can.
no, he cannot. Oh, so close. So close. But in the end, I have to say for Cortez's end, not Cortez, from Orgless. Don't apologize for that. Orgless, the main reason why they won that post run is that they had every single utilities at their disposal. Shock darts, the flashes, aftershock. Even more so, they had to use the Rolling Thunder. So a lot of utilities were expended on the A side, and you could say this was a very costly round from Orgless. But they'll finally get to succeed. 5-5. They got to equalize it. And it's still...
Spike down. C.
And it's still more deadlier enough. Team punished. They want it back. But can they do it?
God, this double operator strategy is just so painful to deal with. The 2-4 getting even more damage done. Both of the initiators being taken out of the equation. I'm pretty sure that this is pretty much impossible to solve.
Again, just some sound cues being made. They know exactly where Orgless is. Concussions. Cortex will be hit by it.
Scanning ahead.
They still have some support from Kawaii. He has his trust with his team. Zoid is already in. Can't seem to find an opening though. There's a lot of stars being placed on the default. Bye-bye, man! Through the wall that is, and Kawaii right from behind.
Why? No! Oh, still got it. What?
Still get it. It's Kawaii.
Oh, dude, he's actually praying to God.
Last round
He's like,
before
nope,
the
I
switch.
shouldn't have died there. Thank God he went in for the whiff. Like, he's praying to God, saying that thank you, God, the fact that you made him whiff. I was as good as that there.
Aggressive, I still have a question to ask for you. Team Punished, looking at the way how they're making such ridiculous plays, do you think is there any other way that Orgless can make a comeback like this? Is there any way that they can succeed?
Yeah, honestly, they can. With this first initial push, they should be able to, but look at how the members of Team Punish are making their way back. They're giving up so much space, and Solo maybe a little bit see there in the way that the play went in. Okay, take out the shorty, make it have a couple of moon swings there over from the side, but it's not gonna be enough to let you survive. Eldazard is just turned to shine once again, but he's not able to gain anything. Kawhi stuck between a rock and a hard blade, doesn't have anywhere to move, and Hika finds him in a corner like a cornered rat and kills him out with the poison.
Switching
The
sides.
Hunter's Fury gets the catch that it needs, and Team Punish, they get taken down to a 6-6. And honestly speaking, this is the same scoreline as the level Icebox, so eh.
Although in the first half, was it a 6-6 or did it ended up on a 7-5? But it always comes down to the second half itself, right? About the agent's pick itself, is Zoid picking Neon a good idea? Because most of the time, it works on attack, but how well can they do it on defense? Everything's been reset. So does the score count. 6-6 has been equalized, which means at the second half, it's balanced. Talk about the kill feed itself. We have Sammy with 12 kills, followed up with Kawhi with 13, Vibegod with 10. Kel'Thuzad, although he hasn't racked up a lot of kills from his end, has been supporting his team with a lot of supports from the smokes and that cosmic divide. Man, still can't get it out of that, man. The timing was just absolutely perfect. But it's still not enough. Team Orgless, they are this close to being eliminated. This is the wildcards. Only one can get the spot, not two. Only one. Second and third place, they have. They just have to go through every single difficulties, every single challenges that they have to go through, and it will be a tough one. Starting off in the second half itself, they have to win pistol round. Both of them wants to win pistol rounds. But which strategies will it favor a lot? Will it be Team Punished or will it be Orgless? Let's find out. Information's from Shockdowns already. Back again with the control on a long, which in fact Neon won't have a lot of problems in dealing that. B execute. Everything's looking fine. Especially on the attacker's end. Both lines of sight have been blocked, and somehow Vibegod gets a wall back, gets a smoke through shots. It's not a wall bang, I know, I do apologize for that, but man, getting a shot like that, it's always unexpected. But Zoid, no, Zoid's location is good, but no, it's not enough. It's been denied, and Hika will come back once again. The trade is important, but it's not working out. They have the control. There's only 2 players left. They know that one of them is playing near the windows. Can they contain the situation?
Oh, that shock dart was priceless. Taking so much time. Hika, though, again with the shutdown, is just always so painful to watch. He's gonna look for more. Should be able to find it. Nope, nothing to be done. Members of Team Punished. Again, these pistol rounds are so good for their side. Solo with the final kill takes it over to a 7-6. And with this,
One enemy remaining.
they have more to contest with, but once more, we fall into that trap. You win out on the first initial pistol round for the first round when it's 0-0. Second half, you go in, win another pistol round, which is pretty much a default win for the anti-eagle. And when you have these 4 rounds, it just adds so much to the tally that you have no real way of trying to fight it now, too. But again, possibility of a thrifty is always there. Looking at the buys of the defenders, they have 2 sheriffs to work with. And these sheriffs, they need to sing the song of death if they have any hopes of surviving this entirety of the map of Haven.
We haven't seen a single thrifty round win on Icebox. Maybe we could see that happen on Haven. This entire round itself has been silent for half of the early rounds. Smoke's been used, which means that I believe they have their suspicions that the entire C site might have been expended. But Haivan, Solo, he sees the teleport, but he doesn't know Solo's whereabouts. Oh! Misses. Haivan, concussion. It's not enough.
I was scared for a second there, dude. I'm pretty sure you were as well.
Yeah, I was. But even more so, I'm even more scared for Orgless because they've lost a lot.
30 seconds left.
The opening exactly what they want, and Solo is just on point with those Guardian shots. Refrag will come in from Kusev. Bye-bye. Spectre in hand. Zoid with the shorty. All he has to do is just let him arrive at 2-meter radius.
There they are.
But I have to say, this is a lost cause for Orgless. 2-4. Cortez.
One enemy remaining.
Won't have any problems in dealing with Yeoman. He'll also get the Sheriff.
On my mark.
He knows Viper knows exactly where Zoid is. Smoke will be there to see whether if Zoid can push.
No, he has a shotgun. Yeah, they're not going for this, right?
Back. Concussions. Concussion. Well, if there's any player holding with the shotgun, there are a lot of counters where you can go through. Concussions from the breach, flashes, but never give them smoke. Right? Just don't give them smoke, because smokes are always a 50-50, right? So that concussion was more than enough to deny that shorty kill. All in all, Team Punished have got things under control. 8-6, winning 2 attack rounds in the second half, which means that we won't be able to get a thrifty round win on the side of Orgless.
He's done his work up. That's pretty much it. Sami on the other end, though, playing a bit too aggro. This is one of my favorite spots, by the way, on Garage on Haven. I love holding this aggressive position as a chamber. It allows you to be very unpredictable and also gets you that first initial advantage that you need in most cases. But Kel'Thuzad, you have to be careful. Doesn't really have the weaponry for this fight. Could just get caught out there, but Hika, it's all up to you. Too much of an aggressive play could just cost your entire team this roundup, though. But you have to be careful, and you need to gain that first bit of an advantage. So again, with the Guardian in his hand, will he be able to find the first frag, though? That's the real question. Presence on mid, very prominent from the members of Team Punished, but the fight, not yet to be found.
You know, you can just feel the tension where both the opposition teams are just so close to each other. Only a single wall
30
is
seconds
what's
left.
making them not do anything. Hika, man, push, but not successful.
That's a catch.
That is a catch. And look at that. Once we get to see that owl drone, instantly chaos starts to soothe in. Why, by God? Such a close encounters, but he will succeed that gunfight nonetheless, and he continues to do so. Haivan is gone from the Windows side, and the last player, Zoid, will get taken out. Man, can you just, like, aggressive? Is it just me, or do you just feel the tension on that B side? That single wall where both of them are just hugging it so tight. You don't even know who will push first. You don't even know who will push the second. Of course, it will be the attackers, but the tension that you have, knowing for the defensive side, it might be a trap, it might be a bait, but Team Punished, what a way to complete the B side, man. That owl drone was just so powerful. It really forced Orgless to make a risky decision, and it ended up being their demise. And when it comes,
add something to this, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Orgless just, I don't know what they're doing, what the game plan is, but On the defensive side on Haven, the main strategy on the defense is you start pushing to gain information. If you don't have information, you're just done for. The stars will be placed. Zoid's position is already known. Zoid has nowhere to go. He's stuck here. The Astral Star is going to come in and it's going to pull him in to congestion. He is done for over on this side. And they're just waiting for that star to come back in their hands. Flash comes in from the side and yep, that's a kill. They already knew he was present. 5e with the spot outs. Gotta love it when you see it. The game plan's going to be good. And also the A side, right for the picking from members. Punished.
Even with the shock drones from Hika,
Spike planted.
can he confirm the kill or not? Not quite sure. But what's the worst part about it is that Team Punished haven't lost any players just yet. They've lost a lot of bodies. They've even lost a lot of utilities for the attackers, that is. And Hika is just desperately trying to make an attempt to see whether they can turn these things around. Bye bye God just praised the Vandal. 2 kills, one from Bye Bye and the second from Kel'Thuzad. And Hika is the last player left. Sheriff's in hand. Of course, it was almost an eco round from them, but he forgot about Hika itself. He thought he was at the he thought he was at the Heaven site. He wasn't. At least on the good end, he'll get the upgradation of the weapon and also the confirmation on taken Bye Bye God. So at least Hika will have some value on this round now, do we? He'll have the Vandal, and I believe in the next round he might be able to give yet another Vandal to his team. Actually, he won't. No, he won't. No, he won't.
Yeah,
That's
when you
unfortunate.
save, you only have 1,000 credits, and you don't get any more money than that. So
Oh,
2,000 in total. It's really fun.
yeah, it's fine.
It's been a while since you last played Valorant, so you're trying to get back into the groove of things. So that's all right.
Yeah.
And man, the meta has shifted so much from back in the day.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
has,
old
yeah.
now. I've been playing this game since the good old beta days.
Oh,
And to see how the meta has shifted, it's just incredible. The life cycle of a game from start to finish is something that a lot of people don't get to witness. I'm glad that I was there for all of it. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have really said that. I think I've only played one game where I played since the beta up till now, and that was my first ever first-person shooter. And this is the second one that I've started with the cycle beginning up till the very end. And I will never look back. This game is everything to me.
it even gets interesting, right? Not only when it comes to the entire meta shift changes on Valorant, I have to say, including the entire competitive end too. We do know that. Oh, wait, let's just focus on the site itself. They're already in, and Bye Bye God doing what he does best. Kel'Thuzad is still here with the support.
Spike down.
Still a lot of dangerous attempts that Orgless is trying to make, but that cosmic
30
divide
seconds
will make it even much more difficult
Spike planted.
for them to proceed in towards the C site. There's only 2 players left. You have all the utilities that you need. Remove some players out of the equation. Oh man, that's a sad moment though from Haiwan's end. And it's Hika back again. Previous round, he was the last player standing, although he gets a kill from Solo. A second one from Kel'Thuzad. Now this is not good from Punish's end. Even at a 1vx situation, if they lose a lot of bodies, there is high likely a chance that the attackers will lose a lot of economic growth from their end, right? Yes, of course, they'll get the win, 11-6. Bye Bye God, a job well done on the execute as well as on the post plant. But if they lose a lot of bodies in the post plant, say for an example, if there was just 2 players or 1 player left, you could say that the economic growth on the side of Team Punished would have a lot of heavy toll, right? So you need to be careful on that. And resuming back the conversation, not only Valorant has changed when it comes to meta-wise, you do know that Shroud is joined for Sentinels, right?
Who doesn't? That's the biggest news in the entire
Who doesn't?
dude. To have a big name like that, it really does shape the scene into a better light. But hey, as we're still waiting for the teams to get prepped up, what I do like about Team Punished is that they're very slow, methodical playstyle to gain the map control first and then push their way in is giving them so many advantages here. The defense, they're being corralled into a corner. That's the main problem here. They have nowhere to go. They have no information whatsoever. They're not playing for any forms of information, and that's why they're falling. If you get caught off guard on Haven so many times, you expect a playstyle shift, but there's nothing from Orgless.
No information. Getting cornered every single time, especially on the mid rounds. It's not a good way for Orgless to be in a situation like this. 30 seconds. Obviously, Team Punish will make their execute.
30 seconds left.
And Orgless have no idea. There's only 2 players, solo. Seeing if that distractions would work on towards B, but it is the C-side nonetheless. Hika, 2 kills.
Spike
Very
down.
important one of that too. Why and Cortex are gone. Kusev,
One
Sheriff in hand. It's powerful. More than enough for Orgless to win it. For Orgless to win it out. Desperate attempts at that too. They'll get their weapons back. They're looking confident. And that's exactly what Orgless needs if they have to survive in the second half. And you could say that Team Punished took a lot of time, right? It went all the way to 30 seconds. They couldn't get to find an opening pick because Orgless was playing very patiently. They weren't playing at a very open angle. They weren't playing at an off angle. Even more so, they were at a very safe spot. So in order for Team Punished to make a push like that, they were supposed to be the one who needs to make risky decisions, and that eventually let them get the win. But that chaos doesn't stop at all, folks. Look at that. Gunfights happening towards A long. And in the end, it's Orgless who is at the end of the backseat. They get the kill, instantly decides to execute on C, and now Kusev. Man, how can you handle this? One paranoia. Will that paranoia help him get it? No. The push.
Trying to slow them down as he possibly can. Kusev, good for the
down,
first initial
C.
kill. He's looking for more solo though. He doesn't miss those shots, and he's gonna be able to find more possibly, but no! That's a kill. Kill to Zod. If he found that frag, that would have been perfect there, but Sami way quicker on the trigger, especially when he has the 2 to force in hand. Catches him out. And the possibility of an 11 and 8 on the cards, but solo, he doesn't give up that easy. Knowing him, he still has a clutch in him.
Solo has all the time he needs.
Spike
Post
planted.
plant, and now the danger is on for Orgless. You also need to realize that Sami is at 7 HP. I believe they'll make a decision of playing the trade games once again. If you let Solo isolate that 1v1 gunfights, then it's difficult for Orgless to succeed. Information, that's good. His location is compromised. It kind of feels like he's taunting them. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm right here. I am ready. And he is ready, of course. So does Hika with that trade, which will happen nonetheless. 11 to 8. As Hika will succeed the clutch. And it is a necessary one. Because in the next round, Team Punish will have a lot of problems from their end. And they need to make a decision on whether if they can hold their ground or let Team Orgless do what they do best. 20 kills to by God. Hika with 19. They have all the utilities that they want. They have the Hunter's Fury. They even have Rolling Thunder. Every counters are available for Orgless. All they need to do is just time it right and ensure that Team Punish wouldn't be able to do any more damage to them.
It's a contestation for them. Couple of more buys, but no, Zoid again. Utilization of the space is key, but he's making the space, but he's still trying to go in for frags like that. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be tough for him. There's not enough utility being invested on top of him. And one by one, their bodies start to drop. They have the C-side under control just on the pure basis of Zoid. No, that's a miss. But Hika's still gonna be able to find the frag. Perfect. But with the Rolling Thunder still available, this retake is pretty much improbable. How do you want to push? How do you want to even do this one? Because this one Rolling Thunder will throw you off the spike and slow you down for what? Another 6 seconds? All set up. You can't deal with this. Fault line comes in. It's the first. Here comes the second. That's a flash. Yeah, he's just gonna wait. He's chilling out here. Now comes the Rolling Thunder. Good luck trying to defuse the spike, bro. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
One enemy remaining.
They're concussed. Can they do? They're concussed. Match point for Team Punished. All they had to
Match
do was
point.
just be patient and let patience reward. Let's win. What just happened on that C place? What exactly happened on that C long? Granted, I can understand it's Neon. She's supposed to engage and provide a lot of annoyance towards the opposition team, and I believe Team Punished were ready for that. There were three players in towards C lobby, and Neon being at a very difficult spot like that. I mean, winning a 1v1 situation can be acceptable, but a 1v3, that is no way in
Especially
heaven
against
you
the
get to win
Breach,
that
though.
gunfight. Yeah, especially
Yeah,
against the
not
Breach.
against the
Yeah.
Breach. The man at his Rolling Thunder, fault line, one flash in hand. There is nothing that you can do to try and live through that guy. Kel'Thuzad though. Okay, cuts out. Catching up two players, pretty good on the whole. And now they're looking for even more. Sami's gonna get caught out here, but okay, here comes the plate. But what a beautiful aftershock! Good God, look at the utility usage. I love to see this every single time. A team with this beautiful levels of utility is something that I've never seen in our South Asian scene. It's very rare to see this level of team play and coordination, but a couple of these shots are being missed. Of course, the superstar levels of aim that Orgless have will carry them pretty far, but that level of utility usage is what brings you to the finish line. They're looking for even more here, but Cortez
30
maybe a bit
seconds
too
left.
aggressive on the pickup. They still have enough time to go in for the push, but with only 3 members left, they're starting to fall like dominoes here. And Solo looking for the first initial frag. Kel'Thuzad's on the side, but the smoke dissipates in the worst possible time. And here, Kel'Thuzad, it's all up to you. If you miss any shots, it's done for. Kusam with the third, looking for his fourth, but Vibe,
10
he's not
seconds
gonna give it
left.
to him. Run away over to the other side, save that operator for yourself. And it's 12 and 9.
Yes, looks like Sammy wants the
History
off.
be repeating itself.
Oh no. Looks like it does. It does aggressive. Pause will be requested from Cortez's end, especially from Team Punished, and they do need it. That previous round though, that counters. Beautiful. The aftershock, the smokes. Just by one usage of Rolling Thunder, I can still hear the comms noises on Orgless end. Yeah, I have the Rolling Thunder. Let's push. We have them under our grasp. They're concussed. Next thing you know, there's just 3 aftershocks just waiting to remove players out of the equation, and then Orgless decide, you know, no. You know what? Just let's just back off. Let's just back off. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let's just wait it out. Let's wait for them to make a push. Let them get control on the site, because that's exactly where we have our advantage. Because most of the utilities that you saw were wasted on towards a lobby. You saw the gravity well. You even saw the smokes. A lot of stars were used, and mainly because of that, Kel'Thuzad couldn't get to block lines aside on towards the seaside itself. They had the advantage. Kusef, all he had to do was just wait for the agents to arrive right at their crosshairs, and then boom, headshot, 3 kills. Easier said than done. And that is one way to know that not only does the side of Team Punished.
Dude, that's maximum
Okay.
disrespect. That is just pure disrespect.
Man, I was actually trying to say something, but then I saw why my god with that alternate fire. Man, that storm.
Why peek?
White peak.
Why peek?
It's tough. I believe they. I don't know why they're peaking, but I believe the main reason that they're doing it is because they want some economic growth. But well, on the other hand, we'll get the upgrade. Vandal in hand, but not the heavy armor at his hand. Sammy once again with the op gets the shot, and just like that, Orgless will get the win once again.
The main reason why I said why are they peeking? You have 2 players coming in from A. Why pick solo? There was no reason for it.
Spike down. B. One enemy remaining.
This A push would have been perfect for them. They could have waited. Misplays here and there, but again, it's just I don't know. Communication maybe breaking down and team punished. They're showing cracks in their armor, but of course that last round was sneak around, so I'm not gonna really put the blame on them whatsoever for it. But Sami is looking for get out here. Again, too much confidence. Sami, he didn't give up the angle. He tried to stay in for a fight and he got punished for it.
Yeah, the Aldrone itself gave so much information. And that will eventually get them the control on C side. It's a desperate attempt, and that attempt has been contained from Kel'Thuzad. Man, this is looking dicey for Orgless. Why by God, not a good way to end it off like that. And Hika has to do something about this. Cosmic Divide is in. It's even more difficult for Team Punish to hold out the ground. Here comes Kawaii. Smokes are in. Kusef. It's not looking too good. Oh man, this is not good. Not good at all.
Hackers win.
And what a way for Team Punish to end off map number 2. 13 to 10. They've made so many attempts. And look how happy they are, Team Punish.
Where's the Lungi dance?
Uh-huh. Where's the lungi dance? Where is it? No? No, I think they'll do it when they get the spot on the wildcards, right? They just succeeded. They just won the first wildcard match. We still have the second match left. We still need to ensure who will proceed into the group stages, right? Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
There we go. There's
There
the
we
Lungi
go.
dance. Let's
There's
go.
the lungi dance. Let's go. Ah.
I gotta
You know
love
what?
it. Let's see it.
You know, there's always that one rule that I love is that you need to enjoy the little things, folks. And Kel'Thuzad, yes, he will definitely be happy about that. That's for sure. 13 to 10. Both of the maps are at the hands of Team Punished, which means that they will proceed into the next phase, which means that they have higher chances to be having a spot on the wildcards. But that's not all. The second match, that will be the deciding factor. Who will Team Punished go up against in the second matchup? Only time will tell, but I've got to say these two matches were an entertaining one. It was just chaos all over, and it was Team Punish who will be the victors on this matchup.
Team Punish, they deserve this win. They played admirably, not a single beat missed. And as we head on down over to the highlights, we're going to be able to look at all of those goals. Perfectly played down to the T. Not a single shot missed in most cases. And hey, their team play and coordination were just astounding. I love the utility usage coming in. And honestly speaking, after that one round, just the one round where we saw the Rolling Thunder coming in from Hyvan and the aftershock from mid, immediately a smoke placement from Kel'Thuzad. When you see stuff like that, you know for a fact the team is about to win. That is the level of utility usage that you would expect from a professional level team. And the way that they played together is immaculate. No calls came in, nothing whatsoever, but they still gave the backup accordingly. And when you have this level of coordination, there is no amount of talent that can beat them. Team Punish, they deserved that victory and they worked hard for it. But for the members of Orgless, they need to go back to the drawing board because I didn't see any of that come from them. The team just felt so disjointed, so disconnected that I couldn't get behind them at all.
Yeah, apparently Orgless had their final chance, and now that's also gone. Still have to appreciate them though. Especially, I'm going to give the exact same round. I was about to try to explain that situation, but then suddenly, you know, why by God gets to do the Blade Storm thing from that A shot. Which mainly is that no matter how many utilities were placed on that side, Team Orgless immediately realized that they wasted everything. And you could say that they've timed it so well. The communications were good. Orgless, all they had to do was just stay patient. And Team Punish, knowing that if they have to execute, they will no longer have smokes, no longer have utilities to even use their flashes. They did it evidently so that when it comes to the utility game, Team Punished, although they've countered the methods that Orgless were trying to do, Orgless did fling back. And I have to give appreciation towards Orgless. They made their best efforts. They tried to counter, but in the end, it always came down to that gunfights. And man, oh man, the timing of those cosmic divides from Kel'Thuzad, peaks that we've seen from the chamber. Hika was doing a lot of work from the Sova as well. The shock darts were perfectly timed. He did dealt a lot of damage, although he didn't get the kill, but he ensured that most of the agents that were still alive were onto a very difficult situation. Being on 10 or 20 HP is not a good way for any of the agents to be, especially on that post-plant situation. And Hika, he did everything that he could. All in all, I could say that Team Punished did an excellent job on that teamwork. I could say the same thing towards Orgless too, but I believe the gunfights is exactly where they lost it, and Team Punished really did made good use of it. Taking a look at the stats itself, our most valued player, Why by God, 22 kills, and then Hika, 23. And there you have it, folks. Map 1 and map number 2 is done. Team Punished has secured 2 maps, which means that they will proceed into the next phase. Congratulations to them, and unfortunately for Team Orgless, their journey has come to an end.
So again, Orgless, the compositions that they play have a specific playstyle that you need to adopt, and if you don't, it's never gonna work. They fell into that trap, and that's one of the main reasons why this happened to them. But you never really know. A team can always improve, they can adapt, they can learn, but it takes some time. And Orgless, they just didn't have enough time to make it all work out for them. Team Punished, on the other hand, it just felt natural for them. The team played perfectly down to the T. And when you have that level of perfection, they can go the distance. But then again, they have to see exactly who they're going to face in the grand finals. They could be the wild card, or they could be the second seed that is just forgotten. We'll find out soon enough because, ladies and gentlemen, 8:30 p.m. game is right around the corner, and you don't want to miss out on any of that action. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description. And check out our sponsors, AMD Ryzen, and of course, crucial if you want that performance from your storage and if you want a processor. I'm gonna need a processor, man. That's why, okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go down in the description below, get myself that ticket for the LAN event for the AMD Arena, and I'm gonna wait for it because our sponsors are gonna give a lot of massive discounts on a lot of their products down there. Maybe you can catch yourself a processor at a pretty good price. You never really know. Make sure to head on down over there and get a train ticket as well to Bangalore if you don't have one of that. Everything down below in the description, not the train ticket though. Other than that, we're gonna be done for now. We're gonna be back with you on the 8:30 p.m. game. That's gonna be a banger because that is gonna be the closing moments for the wildcard semi-finals. The finals is gonna be tomorrow. Don't miss out on any of that action. And also make sure to check out our Twitter and of course our Instagram, all down below. But for now, we're signing on off, and we're gonna be seeing you soon enough with the AMD Ryzen with Windows 11 presents the Esports Challenger Series powered by Crucials. And after just a little.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.